Hey, everybody.
Man, I was like, I just got a work page, and I was like, ooh, good, I got 3 minutes. And then you started, and I was like, crap.
Well, there was no point in just waiting when we're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The episode just ended. Great question, Scott.
Yes. Very.
Boring.
With the capital B.
Yeah, I'm not saying this because it's popular to hate on the show. That was one of the most boring things I've ever watched.
Yeah, I was just ready for it to be over.
And thankfully it was short.
Yeah, it was short. It was terrible. That was worse than me being 9 years old watching Dances with the Wolves in the theater with my parents.
Oh, I like that movie.
They dragged you to see Dances with Wolves in theaters?
I like it too, but 10 years old in the theater.
That's not very good.
No.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, I never wanted to go to the movies again.
Yeah.
This was terrible. Nothing. I'm going to say I didn't see anything like one single scene where it was like, oh my gosh. We're not really going to go away from this episode talking about one in particular scene. Just the whole thing was boring and bad. The dialogue, and I don't know how to explain it. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean it's a mystery. But they really play on that. You don't know this, but we'll tell you later. I'm about to tell you the most important thing you're ever going to hear. I've been waiting 25 years to tell you this. Go to another place somewhere and don't even get there. We don't even care. Nick, he's getting the stuff up on Patreon for everybody. DA, I just saw you shaking your head throughout the entire thing.
It's like I said many, many times. I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about May. I don't care about Osha. I don't care about Soul. I don't care about Smilo Ren. I don't care about anybody. And if I don't
Smilo
care,
Ren's the most interesting character so far to me.
He is, and I still don't care if he lives or dies. I don't care what happens to him. I don't want to see the end. I don't care, and that's the biggest issue. That the biggest issue it has, one of the major issues it has, is that we have no reason to care about anybody in this show. I'm not emotionally invested in what happens to these characters. I'm just watching something play out. But if May died in this episode, whatever. You know, it's like it's the same thing with Jackie Lon and Yord. I need to be connected. I need to have like, oh crap, I hope nothing happens to me. You know, like we saw what happened at the end of, episode 5, where there's this switch, right? Where May is now being Osha, and then Osha is now supposedly May, but apparently everybody knows what's going on. And none of this stuff is explained. So it starts to beg the question, what's really happening here? And they're slow playing it to the detriment of the story. Like the audience is not involved in what's happening. I guess we're just supposed to guess, and we're supposed to be intrigued. And it's like, I don't care. I'm not connected to any of these characters. Like I guess, like you always sit back and think, you go back to like, man, I don't want anything bad to happen to Luke Skywalker. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. So I'm connected to him. So when he's in trouble, I'm fearful. I'm nervous. Man, I hope he gets out of this. Oh my God. Like when he's hanging upside down in the cave on Hoth, man, I don't want anything to happen to Luke. I don't care if anybody dies. I just don't care because we're not made to give a damn. They're just putting a show out and they're giving us characters, but there's nothing there. It's all empty calories, and that's the biggest problem this show has. I need to care about the main characters first. I don't know what Saul is going through, or Soul, or whatever the hell his name is. I don't know what this guy is going through, but I don't care. I don't care.
He looks like the most incompetent Jedi Master we've ever seen at this point.
I mean, clearly he's conflicted. That's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, I talked about this in the video I did earlier today. Soul is the most the worst Jedi we have ever seen. This guy is like emotional. He's conflicted. He's attached. You're not supposed to have these attachments. and it's clear that he's doing things. There's a moment in this show. I don't know how far we're going to get to spoilers, but there's a moment where he
Thing.
Nobody cares. We're going to spoil the whole
all
thing.
right, cool. So when he decides to stun May, because he knows it's May, so then why were you playing along with this whole ruse? What's going on here? Why are you going into this ruse? You obviously know who it is. You know, we were all kind of like, how do you not know who it is? So he knows who it is, and then he stuns her, and then he's trying to send a message the entire time to the Jedi Council to say, hey, there's been a massacre, and, you know, we have all these dead people. And then out of nowhere, he just, jump to light speed. We out of here.
Yeah. I think they were trying to imply when he walked in and the little rat creature was standing behind him that the rat creature told him.
It wasn't clear.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't clear. I think they were trying to imply it. Like,
see, so you said Soul obviously knew because he stunned her. They did make it look like he did not know until May leaves to go fix the ship. And while she was off, that's when Basil, if that's the little squirrel's name, told off camera. And then that's when Soul was like, and then he stunned her.
Well, I remember I
that's the way it
said
looked
in
to
the
me.
stream,
I
I was saying
I'll be
he
right
sent
back.
her to fix the ship, and I think he did that as a way to kind of, all right, is this really May or is this really OSHA?
Yeah.
Go fix the ship, because OSHA knows how to, you know, repair things. So maybe that was some sort of a test. I don't know. But to me, that was like, it's a poor scene. It's a bad scene. But nevertheless, you know, the fact that he knew at some point in time, he restrained her. Okay, cool. He stuns her. He restrains her. And then for whatever reason, he decides, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take off when the Jedi are coming, because he's clearly trying to hide something. He's been hiding something since like episode 2. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hiding something since episode 2. And that's the real mystery here. What is it that Saul is hiding?
Right.
We don't know. And
Still don't
honestly,
know.
like I said, I don't really care, because I don't care about any of these characters. If I cared about these characters, I would be deeply invested in what is the mystery behind whatever happened back with the lesbian space witches. I would be super interested. I'm not interested in this.
So we have 2
because
episodes left, right?
Yeah, we got 2
There's
episodes.
2 we still don't know the backstory. We still don't know it. And it's like,
And that's the mystery.
trying
That's
to
what they're
connect
holding
the
on to.
dots. Yeah, trying to connect the dots of what this was. Just so much useless dialogue going through it. They're talking and they're talking and they're talking, but they ain't saying nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
This is
and-
episode 4 all over again. This is episode 4. This is what episode 4 was. Episode 4 was pointless dialogue, back and forth, people walking and talking, nothing else. There's nothing going on in this show. Nothing at all. This is like the worst. This is like one of the worst experiences in the Star Wars franchises I've ever had.
It's easy. Yeah. It's not Last Jedi bad for me, because that's when I still cared.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, because you actually had your emotions attaching, and of course Luke Skywalker's in it. So the whole time you're like, come on.
Yeah, that was devastating. This is not devastating.
This is not devastating because you don't
funny.
care.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
So
Oh my
DA,
God.
maybe I'm wrong on this, but this is how I feel. And you speak on this for a little bit, but chat, guys, we got 600 people here. Thank you all so much for being here. We're just warming. We're just turning the oven on. We just turned the oven on.
Warm up. Let's go.
One of my biggest issues, and we're going to go through the episode shot by shot, scene by scene with you guys. Oh my gosh. I guarantee you will be more entertaining for you than the show itself. One of the things
That's not a high bar to set.
No, it's not. It's not.
A snail
One of my
crawling on the
biggest
ground
issues-
is more entertaining than this.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
kidding. One of my biggest issues, brother, is when I watch The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader's a bad guy. Yeah. When I watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's a bad guy. When I watch Lord of the Rings, Sauron and Saruman are bad guys. When I watch The Acolyte, in this episode in particular, they just made the guy that they revealed to be the bad guy in the last episode a good guy in this episode.
Yep.
He's not bad
they
at all.
No, he's misunderstood.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah.
He's patience and love, and they're just chilling on a beach.
Would you like something to eat? Oh, would you
Yeah.
like some food?
Would you like to take a bath? Do you want to take a bath?
Oh my God.
Join me.
Yeah. Join me in the
You're not
the
a
lake.
prisoner. You have my lightsaber. I want a partner. And it's so crazy. And here's the thing too. Brother, they're going to think they're proud of what they have written. They're like, look, we made the good sister bad, the bad sister good. They did a total flip-flop right in the middle of the show. This is awesome. No, this is incredibly dumb. I can't believe we're watching what we're watching. The girl who grew up wanting to be a Jedi and wanting to be good, she's bad now. And the girl who tried to kill her sister and burn her to death, she's good.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that.
Yeah. And remember why she said that she hates or whatever, like why they kicked her out of the Jedi Order? It's because they failed. Well, you knew they failed way back when. They failed you a long time ago. So why did you join them in the first place? And then why did you stick along? And why are you hanging with them now? Like, all of this stuff doesn't make any damn sense. Like, you're hanging with the Jedi. You came here with Jedi. Well, I guess now they're on another planet. Is that Octo? Is that really what that is? Is that what that planet was?
Look, guys, if you hadn't watched the episode, Octo, that's real life Skellig Michael Islands, where they filmed Luke Skywalker's scenes with Rey in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It appears that that's where they are, or they're somewhere very similar. But
they had the little miniature milk guys that you milk. They had a little miniature.
The breast squeezing green milk thing. They had little baby ones in this episode on that island. I think that's where they are.
Oh my God, man. This show is as bad as it gets for Star Wars. I can't believe anybody is defending this crap. I can't believe. Oh man, I saw the video you did earlier about Screen Rant, and they're saying that this is the show is doing great. What are you haters talking about? I was like, what? They're just pulling numbers out of the blue sky from some third-party company that I've never heard of. Is that how desperate things have gotten? Yes,
this show
that's
is
exactly
a success.
Oh my goodness, man! I laughed when I was listening to you guys talking about it because I was like, wait a minute, I hadn't seen that story, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me, man! Yeah, this is just as bad as it gets for Star Wars. I can't remember a time where Star Wars was worse. I honestly. Even with The Last Jedi. I mean, I'm just talking about the storytelling. All right. Just from a storytelling aspect. The Last Jedi told a story I could follow. I just didn't like the story. All right. And I thought it was a despicable way to do Luke Skywalker. So it's like, okay, at least I understand. So I don't know what this story is about. They're just throwing stuff up at the wall. Everything changes every 5 minutes. It's like, I don't know what this is. That's the major issue when it comes to The Acolyte. I don't know what this is. I don't know what story I'm supposed to be following. I don't know who's the main character. Is it Osha? Is it May? Is it Soul? Is it Discount Ezra Miller? Who's the main character?
DA, this show could be Charlie Brown. It could be Mask. It could be Gone with the Wind. It could be Growing Pains. It doesn't have to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. It's so bad. It's not bad because I'm a Star Wars fan and it's just terrible Star Wars. No, this thing is bad. It doesn't matter what it is. Like any show with this quality or lack of quality would never make it. Never. And to your point, it's crazy that there seems to be a defense of it. I cannot see it.
I had a friend today said the show is okay. I said, all right, talk to me. What are the okay elements? Because I'm not seeing it. All right. And he went on to describe, says, well, I like that, the Jedi are being examined. that maybe there's something that they did that was wrong in the past. And, again, some of the things that I've talked about where the Jedi are being revered or being looked at as like
That's
somehow
a video
a
you
problem.
made today.
Right. Exactly. So I said, and he didn't see that video, but he just wandered up and said, "Hey, man, the Acolyte's okay." And I'm like, explain to me what you see is okay in this. This is, again, coming off of episode 5, which was the best of the worst. All right. It's the best of all of this thing. So he saw it as, hey, lightsaber battles, we got this cortosis stuff happening. He didn't know anything about it either. And he thought it was okay. And I said, okay. And then again, I'm not taking away from anybody's opinion. If you think this is a great episode, you're lucky, or a great series, you're lucky. So I don't see it. But his basic thing is, hey, the Jedi are being examined. They're being looked at. They're kind of pulling up the rock and seeing some of the flaws in the Jedi Order, and that interests him. And I said, look, the Jedi are the heroes. The Jedi are the heroes of this.
It's
franchise.
Amazing how many people don't see that anymore.
And right now, you are destroying the heroes. So
can I break in here? I want you to continue right where you're leaving off, but I just want to interject this. I want to interject this one thing, okay? The first time I was told what the Jedi were, because the story has to tell you what they are.
Right.
A Jedi Knight on camera in one of the most important moments of the entire movie. And what movie am I talking about? Star Wars. For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the dark times, before the Empire. Ben Kenobi. The Jedi were the good. Period. In the original trilogy, all the way until the prequels, the Jedi were good. We're not living in that world anymore. And ironically, bro, we just went back to the beginning, before the beginning. And they're making the Jedi bad in the beginning.
This is the problem I got, Coach, is that this is the quote-unquote High Republic. This is supposed to be the
best, the golden years.
Right.
The golden age.
Right. And we're getting probably literally the worst Jedi we've ever seen. I've never seen a Jedi as bad as Soul. Soul is a
This episode took it away. Hey, people were saying that
Jedi.
they liked Soul early on. Dude was doing a good job. It's the character in this episode. The character and the choices.
It's not the actor.
It's not the actor.
If anything, the actor is nailing what the writers are telling them to do. He's as bad as they want him to be. And it's just like, what are we doing? Again, like I was saying, the Jedi were the heroes. And in any story, you have heroes, you have villains, especially in Star Wars. It's about good versus evil. So you have heroes and you have villains. We're supposed to root for the heroes, okay, and boo the villains. I mean, that's literally the kind of story Star Wars is. It can have some more nuance to it, obviously, but that's the genesis of what this franchise is. And they, in their examination, and if they were doing it in an interesting way to examine the Jedi in an interesting way, all right, let's see what they got. They're not doing it interesting. The story is completely garbage. And at the end of the day, I'm just lost. I don't know what it is I'm watching, and I don't know why I would want to continue watching this. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. There's a reason why people are tapping out of this. I'm done. We have fans, like hardcore Star Wars fans, like, I'm done. I can't keep watching this.
Yeah, that's a good comment by Carl. Up is down and left is right with Disney.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. They can't establish anything. Like a character, can we just say that somebody's good or bad and leave it there? But no. They got to go back and forth and be gray and in the middle, and the bad guy's really good and the good. Yeah. And we said it early on in the episode. I don't remember at what point it was, guys. We were watching this thing, and I broke in and said, this is where they're really going to make the Jedi the bad guys. And y'all were like, yep, because you could just feel it coming.
Yep. So the episode actually starts at 1:30 in. The first bit of dialogue we get is at 5 minutes in. So
I didn't
three and a
notice
half
that.
minutes of the first part of the episode, there's no talking.
Just walking around.
Just walking around.
We don't even know how she's there. Bro, she's on a different planet. Who are we looking at right here? We're looking at OSHA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is OSHA.
OSHA is with the Sith, the stranger, and we don't even know where they are, how they got there. How I don't know. Anyways, I guess she was unconscious at the end of the last episode. So
yeah, she was unconscious, still in the jungle. They were boarding the ship, and then this episode starts off where May or OSHA and Smilo Ren are on a completely different planet. And then after we see them walking around and all that sort of crap, we go back to Co-4, and they're just now leaving. I'm like, so how did they get out of the jungle in hyperspace to a completely different planet and her wake up and do all this, and they're just now taking off? Like, the editing in this show is probably some of the worst I've ever seen out of any show or movie ever in my entire life. It's absolutely terrible. It makes no sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and Rob says, when they show the planet that they're on, it says unknown planet. Unknown planet. Unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously know, but they don't want.
They don't want to
know.
say it. Yeah, they don't want to say it. They want us to speculate.
I'm muted. I did not even know I was muted.
Yeah.
Can somebody please? Can you go back to that shot of the islands, Nick?
Yeah.
Can somebody go look at the Last Jedi screenshots and see if this is the same place? Look, see the steps? Did you see the steps?
Yeah, I saw it. That remember, I asked, wait a minute, where are they? And you immediately said Octo, and I was like, yeah, it is. I'd asked, I didn't know, but yeah, you could immediately see this is exactly, so why is he there? Again, and we started talking, hey, they're connecting this to the Last Jedi somehow.
I'm so glad they are. I'm so glad they're drawing a direct line to the worst Star Wars show to worst Star Wars movie. Thank you for giving us that parallel.
Yep.
You just did us a favor.
Yep. And then so he can't get his transmission out. So IT support tells him, have you tried powering it off and back on again? And so he has to go downstairs and turn this system off, wait for 30 seconds, like you do, and then power it back on.
So I say at this point, he knows that this is May. He knows May. I know the little gopher guy is sniffing around and plugging stuff in and out and whatever. I think he knows it's May and he's trying to test her or something. I don't know what's happening here. Everything that's happening between May and Soul, this is the dumbest stuff. This is the worst part of the episode. Everything that's happening between these two. This stuff with, Kamir and OSHA, there's more interest here than it's still boring, but there's more interest in what's going on in this particular story.
Yeah, and
in the other one. Now,
I guess
that's going on at the Jedi Temple with Vanestra Rowe.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? She's probably one of the worst actors in the show.
Oh my God.
And then I guess this is why they needed to hire an intimacy coordinator. Because you remember that, DA? That they had to hire.
Really?
Intimacy?
I had no idea that they did that. Did they really hire an intimacy coordinator?
Yeah, they hired an intimacy coordinator. I guess that's where some of this 180 million went. For this scene here. So when he's swimming naked out here and then is talking to her and gets out full frontal, Wang hanging out and everything. And she's like,
woo! All the ladies, check it out, ladies. Woo!
Yeah.
That's what they did this shit for. They did it for the ladies. They didn't do it for any Star Wars fans. Man, what is this, man?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this was so.
And he's like, are you going to really kill me like this? While I'm sitting here naked with my wang hanging out.
Yeah, he really said that. Like it seriously was like, why wouldn't OSHA kill him at this point?
Yeah, because he's a nice guy. He's just misunderstood, Derek. He's really a
You're
nice
right. You're
guy.
right, Nick. What was I thinking, man? It's
Yeah.
poor misunderstood Sith Lord.
And this ship design is so stupid. I hate this. It's got to come apart. I mean, why is it not just that's the ship? You know, they got to give these gimmicks for these.
Yeah, it's
ships.
like, okay, I can understand if you separate the ship and there's like a little shuttlecraft, but like this is like two ships. Like, I mean, why is this ship here in orbit? I like, yeah, okay, a little shuttlecraft to get to the surface and then to get back up. Okay, cool. This is a dumb design. This is absolute dumb design.
Yeah, it really is. And of course he's hugging her.
Oh, that hug. Was that the hug? That was the worst hug I've ever seen.
Yeah. He just kind of like grabbed her, like just like forcefully, like come here, you know, and just like grabbed her forcefully and hugged her, and she was just like taken back, like, oh my god, dude, you're invading my safe space over here.
I was uncomfortable watching it.
I was very uncomfortable watching it.
Look,
she looks uncomfortable right there.
Yeah,
was
like
cringe.
I didn't say you could touch me. You're entering my personal space here, Soul.
Look, neither one of them. Bless the guy's heart that's playing Soul. I'm sure he's a good actor. Stenberg has the personality of a wooden box.
Yeah,
I mean, like
she's
her,
still better
like
than
her.
this lady right here.
She's horrible. She's Leslie
Terrible.
Headland. Your wife is a terrible actress.
yeah, god awful. Oh, and remember these on Yavin guys, the screens with the circles on it.
Jingle, jingle.
Yep.
This is Star Wars. This is Star Wars, guys. This guy, oh my god, he's definitely part of the alphabet community for sure. I mean, he was. If anybody out there has gaydar, man, it was going off when this dude came on screen. I'm just saying. And that's funny because me and Agent Callis, our ex-Disney employee, were talking about that in our 2-hour conversation about gaydar.
Yes, because there's nothing to like about this episode, Josh.
Bro.
He said,
Josh,
why the F you guys hating everything about it was terrible. The episode was terrible.
Okay, so if I have to rank all the episodes 1 through 6, I can barely remember. I can barely remember.
It's not as bad as the third one.
Barely.
No.
3 is the worst. By far the worst. Okay.
3's the worst. The last episode 5, was the best of the worst, but it was
best of the worst.
Good.
Yeah.
This is in a tie right now with 4, and in this episode they're in a net. Yeah. I don't know which one is worse, 4 or 2, because it's literally nothing's happening and they're walking and talking again.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is terrible story.
Oh, and on this right here, when he's talking to her, like, hey, are you hungry? You know, well, you know, you can wait for the tide to go out, or you better start swimming if you want to get to the ship, you know, so you can just leave me stranded here. Like, what Sith does that? Can you see Dooku or Maul or Vader being like, hey, you know, the tide's going to be coming out. You might want to start swimming so you can get to the ship. Oh, wait, are you hungry?
Yeah, can't you see Darth Vader talking to somebody that he's thinking might be a future apprentice, and he's bending over backwards to make them feel at home?
Yeah, to coddle them and to make them feel at ease.
Would you like a pillow? Is that seat cushy enough for you?
Yeah.
Are you warm?
Yeah, I was like,
it's like if DA came over to the house.
Hold my lightsaber. You can have the lightsaber. Go ahead. Keep the lightsaber.
That literally happened. That literally happened.
How's it feel? How's it feel?
Hold my lightsaber.
It feels good in the hands, doesn't it? Why don't you kill me with it?
Put my helmet on. Put my helmet on. See how it feels. She literally put the helmet on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, like Junkman said. Like Junkman said.
Want to try it on?
This is the new Sith. This is the new Sith, the kindler, gentler Sith.
Yeah,
all right, not
Sith.
the Sith from your dad, not your daddy's Sith. This is not your granddaddy's Sith. All right, These are the new Sith. They're misunderstood, fellas. They're nice guys. Okay, I said this on my review or whatever. I was talking about prelim to this. I said, look, Leslie Headland, in either this episode or the next episode, she is going to go out of her way to make the Sith look good. She's going to go out of the way to make the bad guys look like the quote-unquote underdogs, the ones that we should be rooting for. And that's literally what she's doing right here. Root for the underdogs. It's ridiculous. It's the worst Star Wars I've ever seen.
And
maybe
you know
in some
the
other
next
franchises
episode,
works that don't work here.
The next episode's going to make the Jedi look even worse. You know it's going to happen.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Because look, Saul was about to get to it, and we're going to get to it. Saul was about to get to what happened? What happened way back when? You know, he was about to tell, and then he stunned her or whatever. But he was about to tell May what happened. And then the little gopher guy came in and interrupted the meeting, and that was that. But I guarantee you, the Jedi are going to look like garbage. Because we said, I know that Leslie Headland said there's another Kelnaka moment coming up. So we're not done with Kelnaka. He's going to come back in a flashback. So it's either episode 7 or 8. He's going to come back in a flashback. And that's when the Jedi are going to look like absolute demons. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it together, man, because I'm going to be pissed whatever I see. The Jedi are the good guys. The end. All right.
Yeah.
Like Nerd Cookie said, the Jedi are the good guys, and you guys are destroying the good guys of your own franchise. Utter crap.
Yep.
So just so who was that sent in the typed a message saying why are we hating? Who was it, Josh?
I have no idea.
Anyways, whoever that was. So I started a poll. You know, feel free to vote in the poll. Let's just get a quick grasp on where everybody here in chat is at. There's over 1,100 people here. So guys, please vote in the poll. You should see it in the chat. If you're on PC or your phone, just show the chat and you'll see the poll there. And then you can swipe up or get exit out of the poll that way. Well, let's just get a quick idea where the audience, the rating on this episode. So out of a 10, I would give this episode
a 2. A 1 in my book. It's right there with. And to me, episode 4 was the dumbest episode. I mean, well, episode 3. Episode 3 is a 1.
Episode 3 was the worst.
So maybe a 2. All right.
Yeah.
Just so it's
I gave episode 3 a 1. And
this is probably a 2.
Yeah, this one's a 2. Because and the reason I give it a 2 is the actor who plays Smilo Ren. I thought his acting was good. I thought his performance was good. I actually like this character performance in the way he kind of handles himself. I don't like the writing for the character, him being all like nice and hey, are you hungry? Are you hungry? You know, you better start, that sort of thing. But the performance, his acting, I think he does a good job. And then the music and some of the sets and cinematography I thought were fairly decent. And that's about it. That's why it gets a 2. Everything else in this episode,
I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a 3 because, as you guys are aware, The Last Jedi is my favorite movie, and this just being on Octo and having the little titty monsters with the green milk, we get to see babies of those things. I'm very happy right now.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
if I can. Here they are. Is that not the same thing? Or are these different, guys?
That's like them, bro.
To me, yeah.
Hey, hang on, time out. I'll go find it.
Yeah.
Find it and let us know.
TLJ titty creature. I literally just typed that in. Like, oh, there it is.
I'm giving it a 2. Oh, you got it. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving it a 2 because number one, there's nothing. The only thing that I guess you could say was interesting was a conversation that he was having with Osha. You know, that moment when he was having this conversation with Osha, and we're starting to get maybe a little bit into why, you know, it's like we find out, okay, he was quote unquote hurt. And so she's hurt too. And it's like, okay, I can see something there. But again, none of this stuff is developed well.
Oh yeah. That's not the same.
That's
you don't
not
think
the
so?
same.
No.
Well, I mean, it could grow into that. You never know how these species develop.
Show it to me.
Yeah.
Go back to the other one.
Everybody in chat saying that these are birds. It's not the same creature.
Birds, okay. All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, that's not the same.
Pull it up again.
Yeah. What's a flippered marine mammal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fala Siren.
Yeah, perhaps not.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
That
kind
was
of
our first.
resemble.
That was our first immediate thought, though. Our immediate thought was like, "Oh,
That ain't no bird. It has no wings.
Yeah. Well,
but
I mean that doesn't really matter to the people writing this. They'll probably say it is, or apparently people in chat are saying that this is some sort of bird creature for this planet.
People in chat don't know what it is either. None of us know.
Well, it's like online or something. Like
yeah, somebody said it's maybe a baby version. I could see it being a baby version. You know, possibly.
This part right here was one of the dumbest moments. This little gopher thing started doing like gymnastics and karate, and then ran in to attack May and started humping her leg.
I was embarrassed to be watching this shit. I was so embarrassed when this happened. I was like, "What is this? What's going on here?"
She kills Jedi, but she can't take on gopher humping her leg.
Because she's good now, and Basil's cute.
Yeah. And she's like scared, like, "Oh my gosh, get off me!" And he stomps on her foot, and she's like, "Ow!"
She's been hunting Jedi this entire series.
Yeah,
she had a knife ready to kill Soul like 5 minutes ago.
And then this thing humps her leg, stomps on her toe,
and this little creature that can't even fight is beating her tail.
See, we're supposed to believe this. We're supposed to take this seriously, guys. She was literally about to kill Soul 5 minutes ago. Now she can't handle a little gerbil creature. She can't put a knife into him and then go and take out Soul and then fly the ship or wherever she wants to fly it to.
Yeah, and then for the second time in this series, we get a money shot right to the face.
Oh yeah. That was great, man. That was great.
And she's like, "Ah." They really
maybe you know what? Maybe Basil is the Sith Lord in all of this. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the Sith Lord, kind of running things.
Yeah. Oh, and so then she grabs Pip and is like, "Ooh, iPhone factory reset," you know. And I'm like, "Factory reset?
Why is it
like? How would she even know this?"
Yeah. And then the eyes turn red. I didn't understand that. I thought that was stupid, man.
Back to Osha talking with Smilo Ren.
She's holding the saber the whole time.
And
she doesn't kill him. She just
like
I don't understand what is her motivation right now. What is she thinking? What is it that she and see, this is the problem. I don't know what this chick is trying to accomplish. What is the purpose of this story for her? What is it that Osha Coach? What's Osha trying to accomplish in this story so far? What is it that she's trying to accomplish, to your understanding?
Man, I don't guess I'm smart enough to answer that really well. It seems to me that
no, Coach, that's the answer.
She's a failed Jedi who is really good at fixing things. Sounds a lot like Ahsoka, and now she is on mission with the Jedi because her twin sister, whom she thought was dead, is still alive, and that's the only reason that she's involved.
What is it she's trying to do?
And now she's a bad guy
she's hanging out with the Sith. Yeah.
Now she's hanging out with the bad guy. And she takes the saber, ignites it, puts it right up against his neck. She's angry. She's aggressive. She's bad. The good twin has turned bad. It's happening.
Yep.
He's basically like, kill me. Like she's getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Aren't you forgetting something? Don't you need to kill me? Like take me out? Like here, turn it on." And she's like, "Let go of me." And he's like, "Come on, do it." And then she's like, "Oh, and he starts getting angry. He's talking about the Jedi basically threw her away because, they didn't think she was good enough.
I am literally having PTSD right now. I am watching the final scene on The Force Awakens.
Ugh.
I know. I can't do it.
And look, as bad as this scene was, and it was truly bad, it was literally the only thing interesting that happened in this entire episode.
Yeah. And
it was the only thing that was remotely interesting.
Yeah, real quick, shout out and hail to the 5% in chat that gave this episode a 9 out of 10. Man, I don't know where you guys are getting it from, but man, I wish I could enjoy trash like that. You know, and be in that mindset of 9 or 10.
So question to the 5%. Tell us something in chat that you hate.
Yeah, is there anything you hate? If this is a 9 or 10, that means that this episode is almost perfect.
Thank you, Nick. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, almost perfect.
Tell us something you're critical of and you hate. Yeah. I want to know.
If you gave this episode, if you voted in the poll, which 5% of the chat, 5% of the people here in chat did. Look, we're curious. Like, we're just curious. Like what did you see that was so good about this? I'm trying to understand where people are coming from and trying to understand what they think makes this so interesting and good. But man, I just don't see it.
Nothing happened in this episode.
No. This was just
and they've
walking,
been
talking.
interviewing, like Manny Jacinto just did an interview. Leslie Headland just did an interview talking about the rest of the way. Oh my goodness, just wait. It's going to be so revealing. It's a totally different pace and flavor the rest of the way. What?
Oh, slow and boring? Is that what we can expect?
Here's the thing, dude.
You know what? Bad. You guys said the one thing that would actually be interesting and nice is if Soul is the dark Sith, is he's the Sith Lord. Like if he actually turns out to be the Sith and all it is, like he's the one that's guiding Manny Jacinto, because there's clearly some kind of connection, right?
Yeah.
Between those two guys. They have some sort of a past. And at first I was like, okay, you know, Soul was the Jedi.
Was a Jedi.
Yeah, he was a Jedi. That was his Jedi master. Okay, cool. But Soul is showing so much emotion. He is showing so much attachment. Wouldn't it be interesting if, not to say that this would make it any better, but at least that would give the character something. If he was actually the guy pulling the strings,
I don't
he
think
was
it's
the Dark
be
Lord
that.
of the Sith. I don't think it's going to be that either. But I mean, at least that would be something. You know, like, oh shit, it was Soul all along. You know,
it's like, just going to be Soul made a mistake. It's going to make him look very, very bad in that moment. Sure. Massive, major failure. That, in my mind, that's where we're headed. Just how ironic. The one Jedi that survived this entire ordeal is going to be made to look bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. Some people are saying, oh, come on, guys. This is just Milo Ren manipulating her, being nice, da-da-da-da-da. You've never seen that. You've never seen... Look, Palpatine wasn't talking to Anakin like, Anakin, is that pillow soft enough? Anakin, would you like a cup of coffee? How about a little shoulder rub? You want to get in the bath with me, Anakin? It wasn't like that.
Nah, not at all.
It wasn't like that.
These are this High Republic Sith, man. These guys are soft. These High Republic guys.
God, they are so soft. Man, don't
look, okay. This stuff right
this
here
dude right here,
on,
this is probably the softest ass Jedi I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know how this dude is a Jedi.
Let's talk about
to this Star Wars universe right now is me by myself with no powers and take this dude out.
Okay, why haven't the Jedi Council been aware? Why isn't Yoda sensing something at this point? Like, we have a massacre of about 8 or 9 Jedi that have just been laid out and killed. How come Yoda isn't sensing any of this? He should be on the High Council right now. He should be able to feel like, hey, man, something's going on out there on Kofor. And we got to get out there to check it out, because I feel a great disturbance in the Force. I feel like something bad has happened to several Jedi Knights all at the same time. Like, this is something, in my opinion, maybe I'm crazy, but this is something, in my opinion, that a Jedi Master on the High Council should be able to feel, should be able to sense. And the fact that, like, somebody should be leaping into action. Okay, wait, hold up. There's been some sort of a problem going on. We got to get down to the planet. They send, like, her and the gay dude and then, like, another, like, 2 or 3 Jedi go down to the planet, and that's it? When there's been, like, a massacre? Like, we need a full investigation right now. I mean, you guys have been investigating all of this stuff with May and Osha and all of you. Hey, look, man, this is getting out of control right now. We had Carrie Ann Moss got killed. All right. We had another guy get poisoned. All right. Master Kelnaka's dead. At some point in time, when are you guys going to get the cavalry out there, Jedi? Come on. This is ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, well, where's Padawan at?
80 Jedi down on Kofor right now to figure out what the hell is going on over here. Yeah, but we just gonna send like 2 or 3 people. Like,
and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Soul is like the man in charge. He's the only survivor, and the Jedi are on their way to see to the place that he's at. Why did he go light speed and jump out of there? They told him to stay. He turns off the transmission so he can't hear it, and he leaves.
Out of here.
Because he's feeling guilty about what he did 16 years ago. Right. They're playing on that thread now, and that's what we're going to get. And I'm like, and none of that makes any sense. It's so stupid. All of a sudden, the man in charge, like, is being a bad Jedi right now, not listening to the order, not listening to the council, disobeying instructions.
Well, it's like I said, he's the worst Jedi I've ever seen in any Star Wars series, animation, live action, you name it. This is literally the worst of the Jedi. And the only way that this show works, the only way that this storytelling works, if you have a soul, if you have a absolute incompetent, emotionally compromised Jedi, that's the only way this show works. If you don't have just some obvious, complete bonehead as a Jedi, if you don't have that in this story doesn't really get off the ground because people are making logical decisions. It's like, no, let's do what we're supposed to do in this case. But because Soul is such a terrible Jedi, that all right, now all of this stuff fits together, and that's bad writing. When you have to write a character that is so far afield of what we know Jedi to be, and that's the only way that your story works, is that you've written the worst Jedi in the history of Jedi. Yeah. That's terrible writing. I'm sorry. It's the worst writing I've ever heard of.
To Shane Peterson's point here. Now, wait a second. Disobeying the Jedi Council is the thing. Qui-Gon was that. Yeah, exactly. He had a reputation for disobeying the council. He would have been a master or on the council if he hadn't have disobeyed them.
Right.
That was his rep. Soul is painted early on in this show as the perfect Jedi. Straight as an arrow, by the book, gets it done. All of a sudden, because he's feeling guilty about whatever happened 16 years ago that they still have not told us. DA, we're 75% of the way through the episode or the season. The series. It's only going to be one season. We're 75% done, and they're still just dangling that in front of us. What did Soul do? That's what this show really is about.
Yeah,
the mystery
I said that earlier.
About that's what happened early on 16 years ago with Soul and the twins. That's what it's about. But they don't know that's what it's about. They did that by accident, DA. That's a side story for them. But it's actually...
It was supposed to be a murder mystery, and now it's locked in on the Jedi doing something terrible. All right? Like Kamir, or whatever the guy's name is, he hints at that the Jedi did something bad to him. They threw him away. Like he shows the scar on his back. And, that's kind of hinting at that maybe his master, maybe it was Soul, or maybe it was some other, I don't know, but it's hinting at someone threw him away. And so it's the same kind of idea with, exactly. Mystery box. They just create a mystery. We're not given enough information to care about the end of the mystery. All we know is that there's some mystery. There's some information that's left outstanding. And it's like, all right, what is it? What is it that's got Soul so twisted up, so emotional, like hugging every character every 5 seconds. Like, why is this guy just an emotional wreck? And he's supposed to be a Jedi. He's supposed to be a Jedi. And this cat is an emotional bag of nonsense. And it's like, bro, what's the matter? And we're never told. We're supposed to wait on that, and that's going to be the linchpin that explains away all the nonsense that we've seen. And like I said, the only thing to me that would be satisfying is if he's actually the Sith Lord. All right. that would be great. All right, cool. He's a Sith Lord. That kind of helps, make sense out of this stupidity. Other than that, it's just stupidity.
I agree. Guys, thank you for your patience. We're going to hit some of these super chats. Nick will be back, and we'll continue to go through the little screenshots here, the stills of the show. But let's see. Arnold, yo fam, with each episode of The Acolyte going by, I'm looking forward to hitting old age, mid-80s, so dementia can bless me without ever remembering this stuff. I agree. Everything has its positives, I guess. That works, Arnold. Appreciate it, brother. It is a mess for sure. Man, I don't even know.
I like this one right here, man. This is
so
awesome.
say num. I don't know. At this point, the only way the show becomes interesting is if the rodent tracker kills everyone and Yoda is the secret patriarch of the matriarchy. Oh, that's great. That would be fantastic. Somebody needs to animate that and make that like a little cartoon short.
Oh, man.
That would be great.
That's too funny.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. I'm sorry I cannot say your name. Give me some phonics or something. Help me out. Mattuine, $5. First time I've ever seen a planet without a name. They always tell you the planet's name.
That's because it's Octo. That's why. That's because it's Octo and they don't want to say it and they want everybody to speculate on it. Ooh, what planet is that? Ooh,
exactly.
That's what these clowns over there at Lucasfilm think is important. Just tell us it's Octo. That's it. We good. Okay, it's Octo. Good. No problem. But no, they want us to speculate on it. They want somebody to write an article about it. They want everybody to think about it. And instead of just telling us, it's stupid, man. And then, of course, that means that, Luke isn't the first one to be on that planet in however many years. No, it was Smilo Ren. Smilo Ren was the first one to find the old Jedi temples and all of that crap. That's what it's going to be. Stupid.
Yeah. And I'm not even getting into the lore of that whole planet and everything. I don't care. That was the worst part of Star Wars, was all around that stupid place. So don't even want to go back there. But I do hope that's exactly what it is, DA. I hope it's the planet we find Luke on in hiding. Because it's just the perfect bridge. The worst show in Star Wars history to the worst movie. Love it.
Connected them. They connected the dots for us.
Ronaldo, $2 super chat. A whole lot of nothing happened. You're right. It was nothing. DA gave it a 2 out of 10. I gave it a 3. He could probably talk me down a point, to be honest. 4 is way too generous.
Oh yeah.
4 is way. Yeah. I could not ever give this a 4. But thank you, bro. Blockhead Wesley Head Grand. Want to know where 180 milli went? To my head. Wow. Wow. That is one ugly head.
What is it? Where did the money go? All right. We finally saw the laser whip. Was that an emotional moment for you, Coach? Were you intrigued by the laser whip? That just popped in? Was that just like, it's finally what I've been waiting for? The laser whip that they made a big deal about. We saw it. It was like, all right, took like 1 second and that was it.
Nothing. Yeah. I felt nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. Meaningless. But we're going to keep rolling on these super chats. Justin Jones, $5. Star Wars fans are intelligent people. Poor research leads to bad writing, which leads to broken canon. Intelligent people hate stupidity like this. Exactly. And the reason why so much of this doesn't make sense, it wasn't written or created by people who like Star Wars. Or they're not fans on the level that we are. Yeah. She literally put a writing team together that had no Star Wars expertise. She actively was seeking out people who knew nothing about the franchise, who had never seen it.
And it shows.
It shows.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I was telling DA earlier, bro, this ain't got to be Star Wars. This could be anything, and it's not bad because it's Star Wars. It's awful. I don't care what it is. It could be any show ever. It could be Lost. It could be whatever. It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
And the thing about it is, Coach, what have we not mentioned? We haven't mentioned, well, we did a little bit, LGBTQ, but we kind of mentioned it, but not really. That's not the reason this show is bad. The show is just bad because it's just bad writing, period. It has nothing to do with race. Yeah. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It has nothing to do with that. We would ignore all of that stuff if this was a great show. And even when it's not a great show, we still ignore it. We're talking about the quality of the writing. We're talking about the quality of the acting. We're talking about the direction. We're talking about the story choices that they've made.
Yep. And the editing that doesn't make sense.
And the editing. Everything that makes a good show great or a bad show bad, that's what we're talking about. And yeah, this is just a bad show. Has nothing to do with anything but the fact that it's a bad show.
Yep. 100%, bro. 100%. Thank you, Justin Jones. I agree with you, bro, completely. Ron Calamari, $4.99. This show shows us what Star Wars can be when unburdened by what it has been. Kamala Harris. Oh, man. Thank you, Ron. That was a good one.
I heard the clip of that going, like, I forgot where it was. Somebody had a 4-minute clip of her saying this over and over again. Apparently oh my God, I fell out laughing, man. Perfect. Good job, Ron Calamari.
Yep. Thank you, bro. Ren Ipman, $5. What's good, home base? Just got here. Did this episode go back down in the dumps? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
big
yeah.
Time.
I knew it was going to be bad just minutes in, and it just never picked up. It just never, just the entire episode was just a setup for whatever is coming next, I guess. They really wanted to save DA whatever they're doing in the end, because they didn't give us nothing in this. Nothing. There was no payoff for the viewer today. Just boring. So thank you for sending that in, bro. Cylon Scotty, $9.99. I finally get this show. Manny is looking for his pillboy so they can start a 60-person dance troupe.
What?
The good
I'm missing the reference here. I don't know
fans will get it. I don't get it, bro. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Nick, help me out here.
Manny is looking. So that's Smilo Ren for his pillboy so that he can start a 60-person dance troupe. The Good Place fans will get it. I'm lost. Cyclone Scotty.
You lost us, bro.
You lost us, man.
Maybe we're just brain dead after watching that episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Plus, I had to drink to get through that. So,
Leonardo DiCaprio, $2. I think they should release the whole show at once.
Man, it's only 2 weeks left now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the way I see it here. I don't think that would help it at all. It's kind of like you sit down for dinner and you've got, let's say you've got a meat and 3 sides, like you're at one of those kind of places, and it's all terrible. All of it. Do you want to eat all that at once or just a couple bites once a week? I could not stomach 8 episodes of this, guys, in one sitting. I could not do it. Could you imagine?
Get it, but it's kind of like, do you want to have the runs once or do you want to have that spread out over 8 weeks? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just get this food poisoning out of the way right now. If I got to deal with the food poisoning, let me get it out of the way and then it's over. But, now we got to deal with it for 8 weeks.
I get it. There's just no way I could watch 8 episodes of this in a row. To me, as far as I'm concerned, they better be glad that they're releasing it once a week, because if they had released this, what is this was week 6. If they had released this entire series 5 weeks ago, no one would be talking about this show now. No one.
No. It would be
once
over
this
and done
show
with.
is out of sight, it is out of mind. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, as a content creator, I like the weekly releases a lot better. As a consumer and viewer, I prefer it to all drop at once.
Binge watch. Yep.
Yeah, and just
But that's only
Same
if you're
here.
enjoying something.
yeah. That's
I'm binge watching For All Mankind right now and loving it. Loving it. Any one solid 60-second clip of For All Mankind is better than anything we've gotten in The Acolyte.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
What's that
but
on Apple?
I believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apple TV Plus is so underrated, dude. They've got good stuff. I mean, things that are well written, good actors. Like it's a total cleansing after watching this. Disney is the worst streaming platform by far.
Yeah.
Awful. Just awful.
Yeah.
Shout out Graph Web.
Yep. Thanks for clarifying, Cylon Scotty. It wasn't for us. It's for the fans that are liking the show, I guess, in chat.
Leonardo DiCaprio, thank you for sending that in, brother. Greg Stash 699. I figured it out. Saul must have wiped out the twins' memories because he used the Jedi because the Jedi killed the witches, and May must have remembered somehow.
It's possible.
So if the Jedi killed the witches,
Sure.
I don't know how they didn't have no lightsaber wounds or nothing. I didn't see no slashes or
maybe they force choked them all.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And honestly, I don't even care who killed the witches.
If the Jedi killed the witches, it's going to make them look kind of bad, isn't it?
Yep.
But that was the whole point of this series. It's to make the Jedi look bad. Because
especially
Leslie
if that's what
Headland
happened.
has a problem with the Jedi, and she wants to take down institutions and all that crap.
Because Leslie Headland has a real life problem with identifying right and wrong, good and bad.
Right. Exactly.
Ghost Rider, it was boring as shit, dude. It was probably the boringest episode that we've gotten so far, honestly.
I agree.
It's right in there, neck and neck with 4. Neck and neck with 4, but yeah, it's got to be. It's 1 or 2. 1 and 1A. Toss a coin. Man.
Yeah, this is like those mornings we got up at 2 a.m., Nick, to watch Andor when Andor first started, and it was super slow.
Oh man, it was a struggle.
It was a struggle. It was a struggle. Everybody was calling it Andor. Yeah.
I know Derek is a big fan of Andor, and a lot of people.
It's a good show.
Yeah, and a lot of people in chat.
See, I didn't wait up until I didn't watch it at like 2 a.m. or whatever.
Dude, 2 a.m. and then I got to go to work. Nah, man, that was not a good way to do it.
I saw it the next day.
Yeah, I did not think it was a good show at all. But it was better than this.
Well, it picked up towards the end, definitely. I think the first 2 episodes were rough. They were rough because there was a lot of setup. There was a lot of the talking, and it wasn't really a lot of action. The third episode had a lot of action, and then it kind of got you into the story.
Good writing.
And after that, I think
it makes sense.
Serial Boy was probably one of the worst things. Freaking in any Star Wars show.
Uncle Harlow has all the answers. Uncle Harlow. Oh my God.
Office Space.
Shut up.
In the Empire.
His mother, I
love the fact that this guy was so miserable that he had to go back home to his mother. He was such a failure. I mean, God, he had to go back to his mother and have his mother chewing him out every day. I was laughing on every scene, man. I love that mom.
Yeah, Mommy, can I come back and live with you? I got kicked out of my.
I lost my job. I have Uncle Harlow give you a job, son.
Yeah. Uncle Harlow got all the answers. Oh Lord.
A lot of people really like Andor though, and I'm not knocking anybody. I know Derek and a lot of people in chat really like that show, but I was just like, God, I thought it was a snooze fest.
Stutter Gentleman with a big $20 super chat. A line in the 4th episode got me thinking of a possible backstory for Smilo. Ken, when he says He had no name in episode 4. For a second, I thought Soul took his name in memories of the Jedi. Maybe that's how far they will go.
Maybe. I guess. I mean, we got 2 episodes left to find out. They're gonna have to wrap this thing up.
If Soul is the Sith Lord, if he's the Sith Lord behind it all, okay, I'm okay with that. If not, this whole series was an entire waste of time.
Yeah,
it's still a waste of time, but it at least make it interesting. Like, oh, okay, so Saul was pulling the strings all along from inside the Jedi Order,
and that's going to make the Jedi look even stupider.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, might as well go all the way at this point, man.
Yeah.
It's just gotten bad. Might as well just go all the way to the end of it.
Yeah. This series is literally the GoBots of 80s cartoons, and GoBots was better than this.
You didn't like GoBots, Nick?
No, GoBots I thought was I'd watch it, but I was like, man, this isn't Transformers. This isn't Optimus. This isn't Megatron. Like,
hold on, I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Stutter Gentleman, thank you so much for that big $20 super chat, man. You might be right. You just might be right. We'll have to keep that one in mind, brother. Thank you. 03 Gorilla US, $2. Smilo Ren said he's very old. WTF. Yeah.
He's one of the Dunedain, blessed with long life.
Yeah. He when were you a Jedi? A long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm 27. A long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee you he's going to end up being like 87. Is going to be like his real age. His human species have exceptionally long lifespans.
More things that make no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That took me out of it too, though, 03. It really did. I was like, a long time ago. Look at you. That's just crazy. So thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Serrano Thomas with $1.99. Is the scar on Kamir's back from a lightsaber whip?
It could be.
He made it sound like it was from his master. Don't know exactly how.
And I'm starting to wonder if his master is Blockhead Headland's wife, green lady.
I still think it's going to be the mother that carried them. Coral is her name, I think.
You think she was his Jedi master?
Oh, I think she. Yeah, no. I think she's the Sith master.
Oh, the Sith master. Yeah, I was talking about his Jedi master when he said he was.
It could have been
Jedi.
Soul. Who knows, dude? But yeah, it definitely could have been Headland's wife. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it'll end up being her.
Thank you, bro, for sending that in. We appreciate it very much. Ren Impman, $5 Canadian. Response to the last super chat. I'd hate to say I was disappointed, but I wasn't. I cleared the last super chat, and I don't remember. It was just a couple back, but I don't remember.
Here, hang on. I can pull it up.
I about have it here. No, I got it. He said, "What's good, home base? Just got here. Did this episode go back down in the dumps?" Okay, so you were not disappointed.
Not disappointed with the episode, or not disappointed that it went back.
You're not disappointed that it went back in the dumps.
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
Latter. I'm guessing it's the latter.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it very much. Charge 41 with a $2 super chat. Did you see Greg Owen's theory on Acolyte marketing? No,
I did not.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, let us know. I'm not familiar with his theory on the Acolyte marketing.
I'm not sure who is Greg Owen. I don't know who.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know. Very cool. Thank you, sir. Michael, $4.99. Disney is going to connect the High Republic to the sequels by bypassing George Star Wars.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We literally got the Kylo Ren theme in the last episode.
Yeah.
This episode, it looks like we're at Octo. We don't know that yet, but it definitely looks like it. I'm sure Kristen Baver's going to let us know tomorrow or the next day on StarWars.com when she writes a terrible, shiltastic editorial.
Yep.
Highlighting all of the key moments
in the
from
greatness
the episode.
of this episode.
How can you highlight what highlights were there? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even really know what all to even say on this episode because it was just so boring and just, it's like, at least last week we had, a lot of dumb stuff to talk about, but, there was some decent stuff to talk about too. This, it's just like, just so boring and just uninteresting.
Yep. I agree. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, brother. Crypto Bindu, $9.99. I think this crap was written by AI. Wrong logic, time jumps, plot canon errors, backward storylines like someone was asking AI to create a story. I completely agree.
AI would have created a better story than this.
It's hard to watch. It's like the people who created it have never made something that makes sense before.
Yeah.
And if you're like, look, nobody knows the story we're telling. Nobody understands it. Yes, that's what we were going for. If that's what they were going for, then you mission accomplished.
Yeah, they got it. It.
I've never seen Star Wars. I can only think of one time where I've seen something Star Wars in live action and I'm going, what did I just watch? I have no idea what is happening right now. I have had that feeling in this story where I'm going, this does not even make, what is happening? One of the episodes was so bad. Kristen Baver, the editor-in-chief at StarWars.com, had to write an article explaining all of the things that the fans were like, what is being said right now, or what is happening in this story, because nobody understood it. Do you guys know, like, has there ever been a moment for you in Star Wars live action history where you're going, I don't understand what I'm seeing right now?
I felt that way a little bit in Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi.
What made you feel that way in the Book of Boba Fett?
When he was with the Sand People.
I understood it. He was with the Sand People. Like they made the Sand, they humanized the Sand People.
Yeah,
I understood. I didn't like it, but I understood what I was seeing. I'm talking about if somebody were to ask me what happened in the episode, I wouldn't be able to answer it. That's what I'm talking about. And I know the moment for me, and I think I know it for you too, Nick, because we were kind of both there together.
Oh, the Last Jedi.
It's the not the Last Jedi, the Rise of Skywalker. There were moments in the Rise of Skywalker I was like, all right, beyond somehow Palpatine returns, beyond that nonsense. There were moments in that I was just like, okay, I'm not following what the story is supposed to be right now.
I got you.
And that's the same kind of feeling that I think you're talking about. It's like, what is this story about? I see the events happening. There's things happening in a sequential order, and I see what this sequence is, but I don't know what this whole story. There's this whole story that's supposed to be happening here, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and I can't explain it.
And I can't follow it.
So the moment that came to mind was, and again, we didn't know until StarWars.com writes an article explaining it. But that one episode of Ahsoka, where Ahsoka is literally drowning in the water. And the next thing we know, she's...
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew if that was really the world between worlds or not.
Right. Yeah, I was like, so was she there the whole time? Like, what's happened? Like, I don't know what's
didn't make
going
sense
on here. Yeah.
And if somebody asked me to explain it, I would not have known where to begin.
Man, I erased Ahsoka out of my brain, so I don't even hardly remember any of that show.
I understand. And that's where a lot of people were like, yes, look. They were happy because it was showing Anakin. And I get that. I totally understand that. If he's, what makes you excited and stuff, that's cool. But as far as story goes, Anakin was there, but you couldn't tell me why.
I was confused, and they never explained it. Never.
It's because of jangling keys, guys. You're supposed to be excited because, it's Anakin. Jangling keys.
I remember the Clone Wars, nostalgia.
Guys. Yeah, that's what these clowns believe we care about is nostalgia. We want good storytelling.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of nostalgia. I mean, I love it, but it has to make sense, and it has to be appropriate to the story that you're telling. Don't just throw it in there just to be like, hey, with the jangling keys and be like, remember this? Like, you like it, right? Like,
Right.
No, if it doesn't make sense, I don't want the nostalgia if it doesn't make sense. Luke coming back made sense in Mando season 2 when he came back.
It made sense.
So to me, it wasn't a jangling keys moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to make sense, and so much of what they've done on trying to give us nostalgia has not made sense.
Yep. Crypto Bindu, thank you for that super chat, brother. We appreciate it very much. That was a good one. Beretta Road Chronicles with a 1999 super chat. Thank you, Beretta. This explains why KK attacked the fans before the series even started. They had to attack us because they knew this show sucked before they released it. So they needed to make us look ist and phobic to protect the series, and I agree with this statement 100%, boys.
They did the same thing with Kenobi. Yep. You remember when Ewan McGregor came out? Any racist out there attacking Moses Ingram is not a Star Wars fan.
That wasn't before; it was during.
Well, was that right when it started?
That was after a couple episodes.
It was a few episodes in.
Yeah.
But now they just decided, well, let's get ahead of that because we already know that this is bad.
Yeah.
So let's get ahead of the game and let's say, hey, you guys are going to attack us, because this story is trash. You got to figure they've watched this. They've watched this and they know it's bad. And they probably showed that, because just like with any other movie, you have a test audience. They probably showed this series to a couple of test audiences. They knew what they had on their hands. They knew
what's crazy? Bad. You know what's crazy about that? The president of Lucasfilm has fired so many writers and directors and TV people in Star Wars. The graveyard of former Lucasfilm employees that she has fired is extensive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the project that she greenlights, produces, signs off on, and even, according to the media, cries over because it's so moving to her.
Yeah. Coach, I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Out of all the projects that got off the ground, this is the one? Like you've canned so many projects. How did this one get out the door? I mean, I was literally thinking about that today. I'm like, how did this one, out of everything that Kathleen Kennedy's done, I mean, the list of canceled projects is as long as the list of completed projects.
It's more. It's more.
If not longer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It is longer. It is more.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did this one get off the ground? How?
Hey, guys, how much money would a Gina Carano-led Rangers of the New Republic show actually have done following season 2? Compared to this,
way more than this.
Not even comparable. Yeah, not even comparable.
And how much would a Luke Jedi Academy show would have done?
That would have saved the franchise.
Season 2.
That would have saved the franchise.
Yep.
But now
they would have done it right.
Now I don't care what they do. George Lucas could come back, do his own Luke Skywalker series. They have damaged it beyond repair, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
the only way to fix
the leadership and management that they got, for sure.
Boom. The only way to fix it is to fire everybody and start over. You got to get a whole new crew.
I agree.
You got to fire everybody. Kathleen, you got to fire Dave. You got to fire everybody at Lucasfilm. Everybody, and then start over, and then bring in some new people that actually give a damn about the franchise.
Yep. Not anybody that's an activist or has some sort of agenda that they want to push on people.
Yeah, use Star Wars for their own personal agenda.
Yeah.
Like
I want to tell my story and how I grew up, as a gay teenager. Like I don't care about any of that. Go tell that story to somebody else in some other movie or show. Like
exactly.
I want a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Right. But see, the thing about it is nobody would care, Nick. If they told it in their own story, nobody would care. They wouldn't have audiences of millions of people around the world watching that nonsense. Nobody would care. They have to attach it to a big franchise so that they can get eyeballs on it. That's the only way people would even give a damn about their crap.
And the thing is, that's what they think. And there's not even any eyeballs on it because nobody cares or is watching it. Not even the people they're trying to pander to even watch this crap.
Nobody cares about this, man. Does this finally go back down? Does this episode take us into the 13-12%?
I think it drops. I said last week's episode, it'll jump it back up to a 14%. Yep. After this week, it'll go back. I think it'll go back down to 13 or 12%. Yeah.
And it's worthy of the score, guys.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
worthy.
I think it should be like more like an 8%.
You know, there are
9%.
12 shows on Rotten Tomatoes that have a score of 0. 12.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They don't have a single vote at 3.5 stars or higher. So they all got zeros.
Do you know any of the shows off the top of your head? No.
Never watched one because they're so terrible.
Yeah.
This, I'm telling you, man, if this show didn't have the words Star Wars attached to it, it would be a 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be a 0. There's no way. Like, Star Wars literally just produced something on that level.
Yeah. If they would have just called this show Space Witches, it would have a 0. They'd be you guys hear that new show, Space Witches?
I don't watch pornography, okay? But I'm sure there's some space witch pornography that's so much better written.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up tonight, Coach. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man,
crazy. Crispy Mofo 1776 $10 super chat. Smilo uses Japanese skin cream and is really 100 years old.
What? Oh,
well, Crispy Mofo, is Japanese skin cream really that good? If so, man,
I need some. I'm
about to get on there and order some.
So look, I'm out playing disc golf yesterday actually, and I'm at a tournament. And this guy, younger kid, he's like 26. Everybody's like, "How old are you? How old are you?" And they asked me how. I'm like, "I'm 44." And the 26-year-old looked at me and said, "Man, you look good for 44." And I was like,
"Thanks,
what?"
Man.
Like, thanks, I guess. Like, it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
What they expect a 44-year-old to look like?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what? I'm an invalid because I'm 44. Like,
hey, you look great for 40. Like, what do you think?
I remember when my grandparents were 44, and I was like, man, they are old.
Yeah, and your granddad was out playing tennis and whooping people in his 70s.
Yeah. He was in very good shape, man. Yep. He took good care of himself.
Mattuine with a $10 super chat. Calling it now, Vernesta will end up removing the Octo system from the archives in order to cover up this whole Sith Ren business, hence tying it to the Last Jedi arc.
Wow, that's a good theory. I could totally see that happening now that you mention it. Wow, very interesting, Mattuine. Yeah.
So Octo was not in the archives. They didn't. That's why there was a map to Luke, right? It was a hidden planet.
Yep.
But it didn't have like some kind of lore behind it. Like, this is one of the earliest Jedi places. Yeah. I don't even remember, bro. I don't know. All that's blocked out of my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing is, we'll see Porgs probably show up next week's episode.
Oh boy!
Be like, hey guys, remember the Porgs? Everybody loves the Porgs. They're so cute, you know.
Oh my god, man! Yeah, they're gonna bring them back. They need to sell merch. Man.
I'm gonna share with y'all a message that I just got.
Is it from Risman saying what happened to him tonight?
No, it's from Valiant Renegade.
I had a feeling it was from Valiant Renegade.
And he says, boys.
Yeah, he texts us both. Yeah.
Boys, we finally got it. Jedi Grandmaster Faggot.
Yeah. Man, I called it. When we were watching, I was like, that dude likes penis. For sure. This is the gayest Star Wars by far. But yeah. Yeah, Valiant, if you're watching, yeah. I called it.
So
for sure.
He did.
Oh my
He literally
goodness.
did.
Thank you, Mattuine. Appreciate you, bro. Let's keep rolling.
Again, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, if that's your thing, that's whatever.
That's your thing,
whatever. Did you see the tweet that I made today, Nick, on Echo Base? I said, because I've been seeing this over and over, people so upset because they were misgendered.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like,
thing.
you see it all the time.
Who is misgendered?
Like some woman who identifies as a male.
Oh, okay. You're talking about. Okay, I got you.
You know, so I'm seeing it over and over and over again. And my tweet was something along the lines of, if you've ever been misgendered, there's a good chance that you first misgendered yourself.
Mm.
And people are
Just
like,
saying.
ooh.
Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Just
All right.
saying.
Luke Capadonna, $5. I do not want Luke to come back to save Star Wars after this trash, only to be Ahsoka's bitch. And it all leads to Blue Milk and Rey. That happens, and I'm done. Bro, I'm with you 100%.
Man, I'm already done. I'm literally just reviewing this stuff just for the channel. If we did not have this YouTube channel, I wouldn't even be watching Star Wars content right now. Seriously.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
There's no... If it weren't for the channel, there's no way I could go in there and... I'm not going to waste my time watching something I don't like.
No.
We're watching this...
Yeah, at least when we're doing it this way, we're able to monetize it with YouTube ads and actually get paid for our time of torture. You know, I'm not going to torture myself for free.
This is really a service, because so many people here aren't watching it.
Isn't that sad that 3 Star Wars fans, lifelong Star Wars fans, loved it since we were kids, have completely, hey, if we didn't have channels,
I'll be right back.
If we didn't, I'm not watching this. There's no chance I would watch this. And it's Star Wars. Like, there was a point in time in my life, if you said the word Star Wars was attached to anything, I'm there. Whether it's a video game, a novel, a toy, TV show, movie, whatever. You told me Star Wars, count me in, okay? I don't know if it's going to be good, bad, or whatever, but I'm there. And like I was saying before, even the prequels still held the fan base. The prequels still had people that loved the prequels. People may disagree whether the prequels were great, but there's still a fan base. There's still a solid core of prequelists.
Yeah.
Who likes this stuff? Yeah, I mean, I know there are some Disney Star Wars fans. I get it, but that number is far below OT and prequel trilogy, the fan base.
We grew up with the original trilogy. We have friends and members of this channel who grew up with the prequels, that love the prequels. There aren't as many of those as there are us, but that's cool. But
there's still a solid amount. There's a good solid amount.
There is.
When you move to the sequel trilogy and then Disney Plus stuff, where they're not growing the fan base.
No,
they're literally not growing.
They're losing
any fan base. They're losing the fans because not only are they losing, they're not growing it, but they're losing people that love the original trilogy.
Bro, can you imagine
and the prequels?
Can you imagine 7 or 8 years from now somebody going, "Yeah, man, I grew up on The Acolyte." No, there ain't a person in the world that's going to say that.
Nobody. And this is, outside of, I guess this is like the first original thing they've kind of done, because it's really not connected, to something that came before. It's not, there's no connection to the original trilogy. There's really no connection to the prequels other than it's just a prequel to the prequels. They don't have any other characters. These are all brand new characters. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody in this is a brand new character. Everything they've done before
so far
had some sort of, everything they've had before. Well, except for Ki-Adi-Mundi, but everything else is some sort of connection to the prequels or the original trilogy. Everything that they've done before. This is brand new characters, and this is what they got. This is the best that they could do. That's why I was asking, how did this get greenlit? How did they say, Acolyte, this is the one we're going to go with? It's just
we're not making money. Man. We can't even make movies. I've got the answer. Let's make this. That's the funniest part about this whole thing. That this show was made.
This show.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand Book of Boba Fett. I can understand Andor. Mm-hmm. I can understand Ahsoka. Okay. I guess, Mandalorian was, take it back. Mandalorian did have new characters, but this is supposed to be in a different era. I'm just lost, man. I'm totally lost as to how this thing got made. How did this thing get out the door? And the only thing that explains it is ideology. The only thing that explains it is, Leslie Headland is a gay woman, and we wanted to make sure a gay woman got a chance to make a show. That's the only thing that explains it. Literally the only thing that explains
it. That right there is what's
it.
important to Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Ideology. And it's destroying the franchise.
Lucas never did that. Never.
Man.
Love him or hate him.
Right.
Like everything he did or not. He never did that.
He didn't put ideology above his franchise, above Star Wars. He didn't say, well, I have a hankering to make something about this particular, political or social agenda. So I'm going to go ahead and make a show about it. He didn't do that. Everything was grounded in the storytelling itself. The characters and the storytelling. That's what mattered to George. And that's what doesn't matter to these clowns over here right now. They don't care about the storytelling aspect. They don't care about the characters. Like I said, I don't feel anything for any of these characters. And it's been 6 episodes now, and I still don't. I don't have any connection to them. I don't feel anything for them. And it's not because I don't see myself or whatever. It's because they're boring, man.
Yeah. They're
boring, dull, uninteresting. There's nothing here. These are all empty calories. They're just, it's just terrible, man. It's terrible storytelling.
So, and thank you, Luke Capadonna, for sending that last super chat in, man. Mike Jensen with $5. He says, just watched it. Good grief, who wrote this crap? 2003 Battlestar Galactica from Sci-Fi Channel has far better writing, acting, and special effects 20 years ago, and I couldn't agree more.
Facts.
James Edward Olmos, his pinky has more ability as an actor than all of these people combined. It's just crazy. So
I mean, this is supposed to be the height of storytelling. They spent $180 million.
Bro, I was just about to say that. $180 million on 8 30-minute episodes. And I don't see it.
I don't see it at all, man. I do not see it at all. It's just incredible, man.
Yeah.
Man. No, look. Ali G is saying George Lucas put political views into the films. No, George Lucas discussed things in a broader sense. Yeah, there was politics within Star Wars, if you will, okay? But it was not the focus, okay? It was not the focus of the story, all right? George Lucas didn't focus on politics. He didn't make politics the point of the story. That's the difference here. Politics, tearing down institutions is clearly the focus of The Acolyte. That's what Leslie Headland is trying to accomplish. She is trying to make the Jedi bad guys because she wants to tear down institutions. She has said this multiple times, and it's clearly showing in the story. George wasn't interested in that. He was interested in mythology. All right. And did he sprinkle some current day political stuff into it? Yeah. But it was layered into the subtext. And right on the surface, you didn't see that. You didn't see, oh, wow, this is obviously some commentary on social politics of today. That's not what George was doing. He made a very entertaining story for masses of people. That's the reason Star Wars took off the way it did. It didn't take off the way it did because he was hammered into the political problems of the 70s. All right. He was telling a story about like mythology again, a boy coming into being a man. All right. The hero's journey, good versus evil. These are the things that George talked about. You can go back and listen to his, original interviews. And when you watch the story play out, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what George was doing. So it makes sense. So no, I get what you're saying is that there's some politics. There's always some sort of, a lot of these leftists and people in Hollywood like to sprinkle politics into their stuff, but the quality of a good writer can bring that out without hammering you over the head with it. And that's exactly what Leslie Headland and all of these clowns at Disney Star Wars cannot do. All right. They are over the head, hammering you with a sledgehammer. Here are my politics. Pay attention to my politics. This is my message, my agenda. That's the problem. So I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to slam you, but at the same time, you got to understand this is not what George Lucas was doing, bro.
So something that the proponents of Disney Star Wars like to say is that George Lucas is a leftist. George Lucas interjected all these things in his story too. Here's where they're wrong. George Lucas was influenced by a lot of things. There's no doubt about that. George Lucas was influenced by Watergate, by World War II, Nazi Germany,
Vietnam,
by the Knights Templar, by so many different things. But here's the difference.
Gordon.
Star Wars wasn't based on any of those things. You can't be a writer and a creator and not be influenced by the things around you.
Yeah.
And
or
he
the things that you
identified,
love or grew up with.
he identified the things that influenced him.
Yeah.
But that's not what Star Wars is about. Those were the influences, not what Star Wars was based on. And that's the difference in George Lucas and what we got now at Disney.
Yep.
So
Perfectly said.
And we've made videos about that very thing. Like looking at Lucas's words. What did he say? What but they like to blur the lines, not just between good and evil, right and wrong. They also blur the lines between influenced by and based on. Those aren't the same things. So, but they like to forget that, I guess. All right, still rolling through the super chats. Thank you guys. Greg Stash, I'm betting soul memory wipe ability has something to do with all this nonsense. I don't know what's happening in this show. Maybe Anakin did blow up the Death Star. Or was it Yoda? I don't know. I'm just a bigot and more.
Man.
At this point, anything goes, man. Anything goes at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Who knows what they're going to do or what shenanigans they're going to pull. Like, good Lord. Every single week we get to this, I'm like, oh, another episode of The Acolyte. Oh, we always look to see how long it is, hoping for a very short episode. But I look forward to the next episode of House of the Dragon every week. I'm looking forward to the next season of Cobra Kai that starts at the end of this month.
Yeah, absolutely. There are things that we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching.
Comes
that,
out tomorrow.
Sure. Yep.
Oh, is that tomorrow that drops?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we might have to watch that for Patreon.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down. So thank you, Greg, for sending that in, brother. Anthony Crawford with $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Anthony. We appreciate that very much, brother.
Yeah.
If you forgot to do a message, just throw something down there in chat, and we'll try to catch it, Ro.
Yeah, mods, can you please kick and ban Junkman from this chat?
Don't do that. He's kidding.
Yeah, I'm joking.
My first cousin's just a troll. He means well.
Yeah.
Ren Impmine, $5. The only agenda I'll accept is making Star Wars great again.
Man, we need freaking MAGA in the Star Wars world. Or it wouldn't be MAGA, it would be
Make Acolyte go away.
oh yeah, make Acolyte go away. Yeah. That would be the MAGA part. Make Star STWGA Stawaga. That doesn't work.
What? No, whatever Nick just said, don't do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ren Entman. Appreciate it. Chris Reed, $5. I'm so glad I haven't watched The Acolyte. I knew I wasn't missing out. Can't wait for the reboot.
Man, Chris, you are missing nothing. Be glad you have not wasted your time and energy on the show. I hope everybody in this chat, if you guys have been watching it, don't even waste your time with the next 2 episodes. There's 2 episodes left. Like, unless you really care about the outcome and what happens, don't even waste your time. Just come here. We'll tell you what happens. We'll tell you that it sucks because you already know that it's going to. And then we'll all move on with our lives onto, House of the Dragon, which is way better, and Cobra Kai season 6.
Yeah, 20 times better than this, man. I'm really enjoying House of the Dragon, 100%, man. This is a quality writing, good scenes, interesting characters that I care about. Like it's like you watch The Acolyte and then you go to the House of the Dragon. It's like, man, it's like night and day.
Oh, everything.
Night and day.
The
Every
sets,
single
the
episode.
acting, the suspense, the drama, everything is better. Everything is
Every
better in this show.
episode of House of the Dragon so far, it's only been 2, but or was it 3 or
Three,
2? I can't
three.
even remember. 3. All right, yeah, 3. I think I'm only seen 2. But every episode so far has been packed with intrigue, packed with great stories, packed with interesting dialogue. You want to see what happens next.
Very
You care
diverse,
about these guys.
very diverse cast too, and nobody's freaking
Plenty of
nobody's
diversity.
complaining about that show.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
right.
I did get. Oh, you know what? I did see episode 3, and I do remember one scene in particular.
Yeah, we saw it.
Oh yeah, episode 3 last
was
night.
like, what?
Yeah,
We were too.
freaking BJ live on the show, actually happening. Full.
Yeah.
Saw
mouth,
the wood. Saw the wood.
mouth.
Yeah. And look,
I didn't think any show on even HBO would go there.
that look, I'm not gonna
stunned.
lie.
It had to have been fake.
I like House of the Dragon, but that makes it go down a notch for me.
Yeah.
That makes me
real
lose
talk.
a little bit of interest.
Right.
And
Like,
here's the thing.
what was the-
I just went through all of Game of Thrones with my oldest daughter. I skipped the bad scenes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to watch House of the Dragon.
No.
I'm not going to even waste my time going through it for her because they're going that extreme now. I just can't do it.
So
And why? It was like almost for shock value. It's just like for shock value. Like why? You didn't necessarily need that. It didn't add.
They were in a brothel. We didn't have to see it. We saw everything else.
Yeah, we know what goes on in those places.
Do we, Nick?
Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I've never been to one.
All right, let me speak for myself.
Oh man,
I know what you mean, bro. I know what you mean.
Everyone knows what goes on in those places. It's not a secret.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chris, thank you, brother. Appreciate the super chat, man. Charge 41, $5. Greg Owen makes review vids too. Has a big family, lots of kids. Thinks Acolyte target audience is kids. Writing similar to Disney Kids drama mystery. Woo.
Wow.
I don't know who the target audience is.
It's
not me. It's not me.
It ain't me. It ain't Star Wars fans. For number one, it ain't
No.
Star Wars fans from the original trilogy or the prequel eras. And I don't think it's for kids because snapping necks ain't in the kids. Like they ain't really watching stuff like that.
Yep.
So I don't think it's for kids. I don't know who it's for.
Neither do I. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Charge 41. We appreciate that, man. Banana Guy, $2. Those things on planet Hoktua are protoporgs. Oh, boy. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. That's funny. James O, $5. The strength of the people is their heroes. What new heroes do you recommend? Who are your heroes?
That's a good question right there, James O. That is an absolutely
So
great
mine is, I am really enjoying a real life inspiration, not anything fiction or fantasy. My real life inspiration is a gentleman who grew up in poverty and had some natural ability. He reached the mountaintop against all the odds, but suffered while doing it. Mom died from an overdose on drugs. The week he fought for the heavyweight championship of the world, and he won.
Yeah.
Anyway, the man retired George Foreman.
Yeah.
Beat George Foreman and retired him. Has more knockouts in the first round than any boxer in heavyweight history. His name is Shannon Briggs, and he is a real life inspiration. After he retired, he hit rock bottom. He got up to over 400 pounds. He was drinking all the time. He was suicidal. And his story, this isn't the part that I'm necessarily condone myself, but he started smoking cannabis, and it mellowed him out. And the next thing that happens, he lost over 150 pounds. And he's got a phrase where he says, "Let's go, champ." And he came up with that and licensed it because it was him talking to himself, because he didn't have anybody behind him, pushing him, motivating him, encouraging him. He had to do it himself. He's like 49 years old now, and he can still fight. It's amazing. Incredible
Is he trying
story.
to come back?
He's fighting. Yeah, he's about to fight Rampage Jackson in a boxing match.
Nice.
And he'll knock Rampage Jackson out. My prediction.
I'm sure he will. Oh, I'm sure he will. Yeah.
Yep. But that's somebody that I've really enjoyed.
Look, the real heroes are so they hate heroes in Hollywood. It seems like they don't want the heroes to be heroes anymore. It's like you said, the Jedi were the heroes of the franchise, and they're doing everything in their power to destroy the heroes of their own franchise. Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Like it's hard to find heroes that you could look up to in fiction and storytelling, because again, when we were coming up, we had like our Superman, we had our superheroes, we had Luke Skywalker as a hero, that teach you the way that you should live life, said, hey man, cling to your friends. That was one of the things that, I loved about The Empire Strikes Back. How Luke says, hey man, look, Yoda, you can tell me whatever it is you got to tell me. I'm going to take care of my friends. All right. That kind of loyalty, it's sorely missing.
Yeah.
In this era. And we don't see enough of it. And it's because they keep destroying the heroes. They keep trashing the heroes. Mm-hmm. And so we don't get like a template of, hey man, how should I live life? Like little kids are always looking for, some people have great parents, some people don't. Hey, what is the overall template of life that I should be following? And Luke Skywalker was that for a lot of kids growing up. And it's like they just destroyed the guy. They destroyed the guy in The Last Jedi. And now they won't replace him with a positive role model or example. And I'm not saying that's their job, but that's kind of what Star Wars was for us. And so it's really sad that the heroes, they're always trying to deconstruct the hero. They don't want the hero to be heroic. And then on top of that, the bad guys are all misunderstood people. The bad guys are not as bad as you think they are. Like, nah, they're kind of bad. All right.
Exactly.
And that's the worst part about what's happening with modern storytelling. It's just trash, man.
I agree.
Yeah. So the obvious answer, and I think Coach would agree with me, is Jesus Christ, obviously. But that's like, not actual human being that we could ever live up to. As far as, people that we can look up to that's here on this earth right now, that's other humans just like us, mine would be, fathers and mothers, that are raising families, and raising the next generation. And I'm talking about real fathers and mothers, not like, these weirdos that, take their kids to, pride events where they're doing weird acts and crap like that. Like one of the guys that I really like, that I think is just an awesome guy, is this guy named John Lovell. He has a YouTube channel called Warrior Poet Society, and he's a big, huge 2A advocate. Me and Mexican Iron Man went to one of his gun training classes, but he's a good Christian guy who's got a family, and is really tries to help people and tries to actually make a difference and make a change, in this country. So,
I agree with you
like that.
I agree with you. Dogs have puppies. Anybody could have babies. Being a father and a mother is something different.
Yep.
Thank you, James O. That was a great question, man. Thank you very much for that one.
Absolutely.
Crispy Mofo, there aren't Disney Star Wars fans. There are Disney shills. You guys make money from us fans who can't watch this crap. There you go.
Yeah, it's basically a therapy session for all of us, Crispy. This is basically a therapy session for all of us.
I agree.
All of us.
This show is whack.
Yeah, it is so bad.
I would never watch it if it weren't for y'all.
No, never.
Hey, honey, you want to watch The Acolyte tonight? I couldn't imagine
Yeah, like being excited. Like, so I was on one of these Shield channels earlier before we went live to watch the episode. They were having like a pre-Acolyte party. They had about 40 people in chat, and their channel's bigger than ours. And I'm just listening to them talk.
They had 40 people in chat. We got 1,000 people here right now. And their channel's bigger than ours.
Their channel's bigger than ours. That
nobody likes this show.
People in chat. 40. And I was just like, I don't know how you guys do it. Like, I don't know how you can be so brain dead to just think. Now, if you like it, you can like bad stuff, but at least have the ability to recognize, look, this is bad. I like it, but it's not a good show. It's not winning any kind of awards or nothing.
You know why, Nick? You ever watch you ever heard of the $1 Million Man? What was his catchphrase?
Oh yeah, what was his catchphrase? I've not seen that show in so long.
The $1 Million Man, wrestling. Everybody.
Oh, the $1 Million. Oh, from wrestling.
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah. Everybody has a price.
Oh yeah. Everybody has a price. Golly, man, I've not seen him.
Everybody. That's why these guys do this, because they get the goodie bags, they get the love from Disney. That whole "there's more of us" or whatever. That whole thing. Everybody in that whole video was laced up with a goodie bag. They got all the access. They get invited to the Lucasfilm headquarters. They get the full the red carpet treatment. Yep. So it's real easy to get out there and shill for this stuff if you're getting paid handsome. Me, you can't. I'm not. You can't buy me. Okay.
No.
All right. My passion is true and 1,000%. You can't buy me. You can't buy Coach. You can't buy Nick. Yeah. All right. But you can buy some people. Some people you can buy. You can buy.
I know. If Lucasfilm came at us and was dropping a couple million in our bank accounts,
they can up for sale.
Hey, I'm just saying.
What's wrong with you?
I might be like, hey, the Acolyte's not that bad, guys.
Give me $1 million, and I'll make.
Yeah, the price would be very high though. Access and premiere.
Everybody has a price.
Yeah,
you're so right, DA.
But that's what it was, right?
Everybody.
Yeah, access and premieres is not enough.
The money is high enough.
Yeah.
See so that works the other way too. It's like I wouldn't go back to coaching high school basketball for $1 million.
Yeah,
it would be an easy no from me.
Right.
$10 million, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
I would literally say no. I'm good. I'm not doing it. I already got
things are bigger than
I already got PTSD from it. I ain't going back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you.
What about to coach an NBA team?
No, hell no. I ain't touching basketball.
Yeah.
On any level.
Is that bad?
Kindergarten through college. Yeah. NBA. I ain't touching none of it.
Yeah. I'm Siler says Lucas sold Star Wars for $4 billion. Yeah. $4 billion? Yeah. If Lucasfilm gave me $4 billion, man, I would tell you guys whatever they wanted me to.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yep.
For $4 billion,
out, boy.
Man. Yeah. Hey, I'll be sending you guys money in chat. I'll be like, hey, watch this show. I'll pay you.
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. Like, some people really do have a. We're joking around. Some people really do have a price. I like what DA said. You can't buy me. I like to be able to look in the mirror when I shave in the morning.
Yeah.
Bam. I want to be able to lay my head on my pillow, sleep at night, and feel great about the day that I just had. And I felt like I was a 1,000% authentic person today. There's so many fake people out here, fake in the media, fake in real life. I just want to be as honest and real as I can. And that's who I am. So I can't live with myself being fake. That's the main thing. So yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I can't live with you.
If you
apparently is different. Nick can be.
If you're honest, you don't ever have to worry about lying, man. Like you don't ever have to think about what did I say? How did I answer that question? If you answer things honestly and authentically, you'll never get caught up in a lie.
Yeah. You know what? Next week, for next week's episode, we should start the show off as shills.
We've done that before.
Yeah, me and Coach have done that before, and people in chat were like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you guys?"
DA, well, I think it was Ahsoka.
Yeah, it
I
was
remember
Ahsoka.
watching that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
it was
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
We said it was an 8 out of 10 at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, we were like,
Yeah.
this is a great episode, and then we just went on to trash it
We trashed it the whole way through.
the whole way. But
And-
but we started off saying, man, this was great. This was actually, Star Wars is getting back to form. We absolutely love this episode. Like,
Yeah.
let's get into it. This was a great episode, man. They're
And we got
starting to turn
trashed
show
in the
around.
comments
I
for
bet.
being chills.
Yeah,
The chat was probably like, "How much did they pay you?"
yeah, but they didn't finish watching the video. They were just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!" And they just, I guess, clicked off.
Click.
And even some of our YouTube members were saying stuff, and we're like, gotcha. You didn't watch the whole video.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, nah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach Rob says, even if Auburn called you coach,
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah. If he wouldn't go,
Occasionally, I have moments where I think about it, but no, I like my life too much now. I like my career too much now. I've been through too much to go back into that world. I left that world banged up and not the same, and it took me a long time to recover from that. I've got, when it comes to something that I care about, I got some ego, man. I got some pride, a lot, and man, I did a good job.
As you should. You should.
Yeah, I did a good job and got fired. I did a good job and my career got destroyed.
Yeah.
And I never broke rules. I never lied. I did everything by the book. And you know what's crazy, man? I did nothing but suffer for that. I did nothing but suffer for that. And no, I'm good. I like careers and jobs where my destiny's not in somebody else's hands now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Integrity don't count as much as it used to.
Not at all.
And that's a big problem,
Especially
with
in public.
society. We can go. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, sadly and unfortunately, that's just the way the world is right now. But shout out to you, Coach, for holding your head up and being a man of integrity.
Yep. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep rolling here. Backseat Biz, $1.99. Skeleton Crew is dead, as the title suggests. At least we have that to talk about, DA. It won't be this bad.
It can't be this bad.
Nope, it can't be.
It can't be as bad as this, man. Yeah, no. I again, I think Risman was saying, hopefully it'll just be fun, even if it's not a great story. It will just be fun.
I agree.
Because
Please.
this is not fun.
Please.
This is not fun, and it's bad.
This would be much more tolerable if it had fun moments.
Yeah.
That we could at least talk about and like laugh about and like, wow, that was, nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Only thing we're getting is talk, change planet. Talk, change planet. It's just super boring.
Yeah. And it's just the way it's edited and put together. A lot of it just doesn't make sense. And you are sitting there scratching your head like, huh? Now, how is this happening? Like, what?
I agree. Jeremy Ward, $5. I was only sad that the first Jedi died because I loved her in The Matrix.
Oh, Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah. The thing is, when they were marketing this show, they were really pushing her out there at the forefront, and she was in the first episode for the first 5 minutes and then was in a part of a flashback. And that's it. Like, where did this 180 million go for 8 episodes?
No,
right.
Somebody explain that to me.
Yeah.
And they already came out the article talking about how the women got paid less on this than the men. So obviously they don't like women too much, I guess, up there at Disney.
Say that again, Nick. I missed that.
The article that came out talking about how the women were paid less than the men on the show.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
It came out this last week.
Yep. There was an article released today somewhere that was saying finally the success of Star Wars, they finally get it. You have to appeal to women. And I was like,
what?
What are we talking
The
about?
vast majority of the fan base of Star Wars has always been men. George Lucas wrote it for 12-year-old boys. He's said that publicly.
I know.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, women like it. There's nothing wrong
That's
with that.
cool.
A lot of women
Yeah,
like Star
that's
Wars.
cool.
You
That's
know,
cool.
but the vast majority is this is a male IP.
Yeah.
And you guys remember that Fortune interview with Kathleen Kennedy where she's saying, "Oh, I got all kind of guys walking up to me, handing me ideas for Star Wars and wanting to work in Star Wars. All men, but I hardly have any women. Hardly any women are trying to come
I
up
wonder
and do
why,
anything."
Kathy. Do you have all kinds of men coming up to you to write Disney princess movies?
No. Yeah.
Or like, oh, I really want to.
I mean, to be fair, she might.
True. But you got guys banging your line, constantly talking, "Hey, I want to get into Star Wars. Where can I get? Let me get in somewhere." And that's because the franchise appealed to men. It's a boys' brand, like Chris Gore said.
Yeah.
You got to focus on the boy. And it's look, there will be girls that come along and like it, just like there are boys that played with Barbie dolls. We always use that as an example. But you wouldn't go out there and say, "Hey, let's gear Barbie around boys. Let's make Barbie a boys' brand." You would never think of that in a million years. And yet, for some reason, that's what they decided to do with Star Wars.
Mhm.
And it's just ridiculous, man. Out of the 5 films that they've done, only one had a male protagonist. Only one film had a male protagonist. The other 4 were all females. And it's like, okay, that don't really like jive with what Star Wars has been. But if it fit with what guys liked, I think most of us would have forgave it. But then you gave us a terrible character in Rey. You know, Rey is a terrible character. Jen or so, whatever. But Rey is a terrible character. And it just, again, it's a boy brand. Focus on the guys and you'll be just fine. All right.
Right.
And then the girls that like it will follow along with it and they'll be fine too.
There's a lot of talk in chat right now about shirtless people. I don't know what's going on. I guess people are triggered because there was a shirtless scene. None of that crap bothers me. I look right past it. Like, I didn't even.
I don't care about it either, but you know why it was done.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what? You on X, you
twice
see
in the
everybody
show.
talking about the what's the name? Kamir's biceps. You saw that all week long on X. Oh my God, Kamir. Oh my God, Kamir.
Like this
It's done. Yeah. Oh my God, look at his body. Woo-hoo. And it's like, okay, like I don't really care about that, but it's clear that there are fans that do. And you know what? Again, if the story works, the story works. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But the problem is the story doesn't work, and then you throw that in. So it's clear that you're just trying to do that for some eye candy. Where's my eye candy?
Right.
Can I get some eye candy?
Well,
I don't
they
have
took
any
his shirt
eye
off
candy.
because they think he looks good. That's why Sylvester Stallone had his shirt off, and that's why,
Sure.
that's
Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem
Schwarzenegger.
with that. They did that with
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, right? They had
Exactly.
him shirtless. Sure. Can I get? But I mean, it's
Hell, they did
I
it with
don't-
Anakin when he woke up from his nightmare. He didn't have
Did-
no shirt on.
Oh, really?
prequels.
I didn't even-
Yeah,
I
remember
didn't
when
pay
he was having the
attention to it.
nightmare about his mother in Attack of the Clones, and he woke up?
Oh yeah.
I don't
You're
remember.
right,
He was
you're
in
right,
he was in
you're
bed with.
Oh yeah. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So the
Oh no,
I
no,
get-
that was Revenge of the Sith.
the only reason I brought it up
not
is
Attack.
because there's a lot of chatter going on right now about shirtless people. Like
Shirtless.
somebody said that they think I would like Yoda shirtless. Never thought about that. that's good.
Yeah, it's just not one of those things you think about with Star Wars, like Rambo, Commando.
I just redeemed him, chat. My bad.
Like we got Slave Leia, and that was our eye candy.
Oh
And
yeah,
okay.
that was.
Yeah.
So look, yeah, that works right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So to be fair, this show has given people shirtless Manny Jacinto. Can we please get a Slave Leia or something?
Yeah,
Please?
they won't even do anything with
There's
that.
nobody. There are no females in this show that are even D pluses.
I don't want to
no.
see any.
I wouldn't want to see not one chick in this show.
None.
Slave
Zero.
Slave Leia.
Zero.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm afraid some of these chicks in this show are really like Michelle Obama, and it's slinging around.
Yeah. Yeah. Gabriel.
That's no man.
Yeah, Gabriel. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, let's keep rolling, boys. Thank you, Jeremy Ward, for sending that in. Appreciate you, bro. Beretta Road Chronicles again, $4.99. Vernie's Jedi assistant has run nude the acorn field backwards. Vernesta Rose, Jedi assistant, has run nude, I guess, through the acorn field backwards.
Through a cornfield back. Oh, like I guess talking about the actress in real life, maybe.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the one Zesty guy, right? The one guy that the Zesty Jedi. Is that who they're talking about? The Jedi assistant?
No clue.
I'm assuming that's who they're talking about. The Zesty guy.
Yeah, the guy that Valiant texted us about.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
and that he's ran through.
Okay, I got you.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Let's see. Thank you, brother. Venger, £5. Next week's House of the Dragon is going to be stunning. Drogon battles.
Dragon.
Oh, dragon. Dragon battles, ground battles, a main character dies, a main character badly injured. Can't wait. Bring it. Yeah. Going to be way better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's House of the Dragon.
Thank you, Venger. Bounty Hunter, $10. Sorry, Snyder fans. I didn't like his Justice League, but this series makes me appreciate Snyder Justice League. That, for me, was just like Whedon, but extended version. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Whedon, his Justice League was not very good.
Yeah.
Snyder's version was fine. I liked it better than Whedon's, but golly, man, it was so long. It was so long.
4 hours is a long.
Yeah,
didn't watch it,
man.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, it was.
I loved it. I liked it. I love it. I'm a Snyder cut guy, but that's a long movie.
Yeah, I was happy for the Snyder fans out there that were really wanting that. And I'm happy that they got what they wanted. And I watched it, and I liked it better than the original. But I'm not. I was never one of those Snyder guys. But I appreciated the fan movement, to try to get that to get that to happen.
You saw what happened.
And the fans made it happen. The fans made it happen.
This guy can't tell a story shorter than 2 hours. Like a simple movie in 2 hours. Zack Snyder can't pull it off. We saw that with Rebel Moon. Now apparently he got like a 3 hour cut of both films. So we talking about like a 6 hour movie. Like Rebel Moon Part 1, and Rebel Moon Part 2.
Yeah, and his director's cut's getting ready to release.
Yeah, it's getting ready to release, and it's each one of those is 3 hours. So you're talking about the entire thing is a 6 hour movie. I'm like, this is insane, Zach. You got to learn how to cut these things down, G. This is way too much.
And I watched the first and second one. And
not worth it.
And they were not good. They were not good at all. I was extremely bored. I was not pulled into the universe at all. Yeah.
But you know what? I'll watch it 10 times before The Acolyte.
Oh, yeah.
Bounty Hunter, thank you, man. Again. Mike Jensen, $5. With the writing of The Acolyte, it feels like they want to rewrite the original 1 through 6 movies. They do.
There's a lot of rumors of them. The thing is, when they bought Star Wars, rumor has it, this is not confirmed, but apparently they can't touch the first 6 movies.
I just don't believe that. I don't buy it.
They can't touch it, and they cannot release the original versions. It's the special editions.
Well, they can't release them because it's impossible. They don't have it.
What do you mean?
There are no original versions. They were destroyed. Like the negatives.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
supposedly.
I mean, the fans out there made 4K versions of it.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, they could definitely do it.
It was a project. They had to make it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
like
Do
something
y'all
they could
really
just go
believe
to.
that? I don't believe they destroyed the original. I do not believe they destroyed those.
Well, then George's straight up lying then,
I
Yeah,
think he's straight up lying.
He's straight up lying.
because he has bold faced said the originals cannot be released; they're gone.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that whole contract. That's not how stuff works when you buy it.
Yeah. There's people
if I buy something for $4.3 billion, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
I will do whatever I want to do with it.
Exactly.
He has said it's not mine anymore.
Yeah.
Like so all that to me, that's just that. What do you call it? Conspiracy theory stuff. There's no evidence to suggest that at all.
No, there's not.
Maybe it's true. I
that's
could be
the-
totally
that's the
wrong, but
rumor.
I just don't see
Yeah.
it. Yep. That's just one of those. There's so many things in Star Wars that people cling on to like that. You know that. Remember the Lucasfilm Civil War, Nick? Kathleen
That
Kennedy.
was actually true.
Kathleen Kennedy wasn't allowed on set.
That was actually true.
I don't believe it.
Gary Ambrosia's the one who
Yeah.
told it. His friends worked on the set, and they
Yeah.
said that they would not allow her on the set, and it was this big, huge thing.
Well,
Like
I
he was
mean-
told firsthand by people that were there.
we probably don't want to have this conversation live because I don't want. I like Gary, but I don't believe that. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he has any reason to lie.
well, that's fine. Okay, but that doesn't mean he can't be wrong. I just said we don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah. I'm just saying that.
I was just.
From,
Well, I
from
mean,
from what's been said, that is actually a real
Yeah.
thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people believe that. I don't. I don't just get. I don't get into the conspiracy theory stuff. That just, that's really weird to me. Thank you, Mike Jensen. Appreciate it, man. CW Flash, $1.99. The Boys season 4 is better than crappy Disney Star Wars. I'm sure.
My brother
it is.
really likes that show. I've not ever watched it. I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 1, and that was it.
Right. All right. Well, thank you, CW Flash. Crispy Mofo, $10. I don't have a price. I pay you guys. You can't pay me to watch Disney Star Wars. They could offer me $1 million and I wouldn't do it.
Hell, crispy mofo.
I'll watch it for $1 million. I'm watching it for,
We're watching it for you guys.
yeah.
So you
We are.
don't have to, and you can hear about how bad it is and what
And
it's all about.
this is the most fun part. Like, it's not fun watching it,
No.
but coming here afterwards and laughing about it, that is entertaining, and doing it with a group of people, with a community, is fun.
Yeah.
So, but an interesting thing is, what about those channels that are loving it? Like we got a gentleman here in chat tonight. He's back. He's been coming for the last few streams. Why is he here? Why isn't he on a channel that's reviewing The Acolyte right now that loved the episode? Here's why. Because there aren't any.
Yeah.
They're not live.
Yeah. Is there anybody live right now shilling for this? I'm gonna look.
And if they do, they probably got 12 people in chat. We still got over 1,000.
Yep.
The numbers don't lie, bro. Nobody likes this show.
All right, so let's see here. Let me go filters. We want to do people that are live.
The usual show.
All right, so Jeff Hicks, over at World Class Bullshitters.
He doesn't like this.
He doesn't like it. Us. All right, so here's one shield guy.
How many people has he got live right now?
570.
Wow, I'm shocked. Then that's all of them.
Here's another
They
shield
all went to
channel.
his channel.
Here's another shield channel.
What's his name?
38. Lean Della Savia.
Never heard of him.
He's got 145,000 subscribers.
Only 570 people.
570 people.
Yeah.
So he's a bigger channel. Here's some other.
Never heard of him.
Got Star Wars Lads, 38. Our
That's
good
about
friend WDW Pro, 1.2. He doesn't like it, obviously. That's not a shill site. They're not shills. These guys are not shills. These guys aren't shills. He's not one of the shill channels. All right, here's another one. 5 people watching. Here's another shill channel. Kingdom of Nerds. 5 people.
The numbers don't lie. It is what it is.
Yeah, here's
That's
another
wild, man.
channel. 5 watching.
Yep. Thank you,
here's
Crispy Mofo.
Another shill channel. 4. So yeah.
This is a non-super chat that we want to highlight here. Did you guys hear that Dune Messiah and the Ray movie are scheduled to release on the same weekend of December 2020? The same day. It's the same day. It's going to be very satisfying seeing that Ray movie bomb. I guarantee you one of two things will happen. One, the Ray movie will either be rescheduled, it'll be pushed back again, it'll be the 4th Ray delay, or the movie will never happen anyways.
Until I see set images, I'll never believe that this movie's actually going to happen.
We have a video coming out about that very thing tomorrow. So, thank you very much for sending that in. John Kokoza, our good friend, $5. Just saw episode 6. Nothing happens in the show. They're going to wrap up all the stories in just 2 episodes. 1 hour left or less? No way.
Yeah, less than an hour, because none of these. I think 1 episode out of these first 6 have been longer than 30 minutes. 1. And I think it was like 32 or 33 minutes. All the other ones have been like right around 27, 28 minutes.
Right.
These are basically movies that are stretched out and chopped up to fit made into shows.
It's such poor storytelling too. Just like, to take a movie or was probably a movie idea. They probably had a solid idea for maybe a 2-hour movie. And for them to stretch it all the way out to like a 4-hour, and then divide it up into 8 chunks. I mean, come on, guys. The whatever the genesis of this project was, which is really ideology, but it's just so poorly executed. The editing, the acting, the directing, the writing. There's nothing of note here. Everything is just bad. Everything is bad. And even the lightsaber battles. I don't know if you guys saw Shadiversity breaking down the lightsaber battles. He was doing that. And he's just even saying, like, the lightsaber battles look ridiculous, in episode 5. Like, everything is just poorly done, man.
Yeah.
It's just
I watched some clips or a couple parts, but when Shadiversity does an 80-minute breakdown on the lightsaber fights, I can't do it, bro.
Yeah.
I can't do it. That's too much.
But I mean, even if you watched like I think he put a 6-minute clip up on X, and I just watched that. I didn't watch the 80. I didn't know it was an 80-minute. I watched the 6-minute clip, and I was like, "This is bad." Like, he's like just laughing at this, how poorly edited and how poorly designed this entire lightsaber battle was. So even though that's the best episode, I mean, it's just hugely flawed. Like, where you got Jackie Lawn just like swinging at air. Like, why are you swinging at air? You're not swinging at your opponent, It was ridiculous, man.
Kind of like when Luke did the little front kick and didn't even come close to the guy's face on the sail bar.
Yeah, but see, look, that's 1983 or 80, whatever that. I can accept that, man. That's back in like 40 years ago. I mean, this is 2024. What are y'all doing right now?
I remember when I was a kid, me and my next door neighbor, we rented Rocky IV. And we watched the Rocky Drago fight in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's awful. They aren't even close to hitting each other.
Right.
Like, it's laughable how bad it is.
But again, that's in the 80s, and you kind of expect that with the technology of the day, right?
Right.
But man, this is bad, man. This is really bad.
Yeah, the thing is, like The Last Jedi, that fight in that throne room, in Snoke's throne room, like a lot of that stuff that came out about that fight afterwards, I didn't even notice during the fight because it was going so fast. It wasn't until you slow it down that you're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. When you slow it down, it's like, wow, look at all that.
Yeah.
But again, if you go back in the day, like if you go back to the 80s and you see, like, look, they were limited. They didn't have the technology that they have today to be able to pull off special effects and to be able to put, some kind of choreographed scene together the way that they do now. So you kind of give them a pass. Like, all right, you guys get a pass because you were back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 40 years beyond that. Like, this thing should look real. It should look absolutely real, like it's happening. And the fact that, like I said, Shadowversity just broke it down in that little 6-minute clip that I saw. And I was literally on the ground laughing. Like, this is terrible. And that's, again, the best.
And that was the highlight.
Yes. That's the highlight of this show.
That gave me prequel vibes, everybody. Oh my God. That was next to the Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates. Revisited 2.0. No.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even close. No. Oh man.
And I'm not even a big prequel fan. Like I love them, but I don't love them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
it's a weird thing.
I don't love them at all. I have a different appreciation for them now after the sequels and this Disney crap. But man, I hate, before Disney bought Lucasfilm, I hated those movies. Except for Revenge of the Sith. I thought that one was the best one out of the three. I liked the majority of that one.
I think I like it,
but it's just
Revenge
it's hard
of the
to
Sith
explain.
Is fine. Phantom Menace, to me, it's Pod Race, Duel of the Fates. Everything else is just kind of like whatever. And then I just can't stand Attack of the Clones.
Unpopular Star Wars opinion. I don't even give a crap about the pod race.
I don't either.
Really?
I don't
love
either.
The pod race,
it's
man.
never done nothing for me.
Same.
Oh man, I love it.
Give me the speeder bike chase and Return of the Jedi over that any day of the week.
Dude, Attack of the Clones has Yoda whipping the saber out.
That was the best part of Attack of the Clones. It was very unexpected because I was like, how is he gonna fight, man? He's like walking on a cane. Like, all the rumors were like, we're gonna see Yoda fighting this. And I was like, how are they gonna make that work? Yeah,
the Dooku, Yoda, and then like the part that was fine. That was fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's literally it. The love story. Oh my God, the cringy dialogue and that whole thing.
That was so bad. George really needed to get somebody else to come in and do that whole story arc.
Every piece of
Anakin
of it. Padme, every piece of that was bad. So I
need to get a romance novelist and director that does romance films. Like, hey, you're gonna come be my director for this story arc portion of the movie because I don't know what the F I'm doing over here when it comes to this.
You could tell George never had to spit game to a woman, man. He never had to talk to a lady. And that the stuff that he had Anakin saying, I'm like, George, bro, you never had to spit game to a woman, did you? You never had to try to talk a girl and talk.
George's whole spitting game is, I'm George Lucas. Here's my bank account, and that's
it. Right. Oh my God, I was like, wait a minute, George, you are the worst dude. You would be terrible in a club, man. You would be the worst dude to take to the club.
He'd be the worst wingman.
You were the worst.
Yeah.
Like, absolute worst, man. Because that dialogue was cringy, man. Yeah, somebody saying, no wonder his wife left.
Yeah.
That's cold-blooded, man. Shame on you, Alec Campbell. Yeah, that scene, that told me everything. Like, okay, this guy ain't good with the ladies. But that's okay, George. You good with Star Wars, and we like you for that.
Yeah.
Crispy Mofo, $10. If Disney Star Wars was good, there would be a lot of YouTubers without extra income. And here we are, so they don't get it.
Honestly, man, I think there would still be YouTubers with income, gushing over how great Star Wars is.
I mean, Star Wars Theory, the most money he made was right after Mando Season 2. And the thing is, if all the fans were on board and it was like hyped up and people were loving it, man, we would probably have like 5 times the amount of people that are here right now. So many people have left Star Wars and just don't care anymore.
The brand is damaged so much, and people we feel stupid sometimes. Like, why are we still doing Star Wars content? Like, we should totally branch out and talk about other things. We really put ourselves in it. We didn't know it was going to be this bad.
Yeah,
we had no idea. when we started
No,
the
you
channel.
bring up a great point. It's because when Star Wars is great, the fan, like we would have like more people here, you know,
Yep.
because people are like, oh man, this great episode of The Acolyte came out. I can't wait to talk about it with my friends at Echo Base Network. Let me rush over there and talk about it. And everybody would just be loving it. I mean, people they've lost more fans. They've lost so many people.
Yeah.
So no, I don't believe that at all, man. I think there would be more YouTubers and more YouTube channels talking about
Making
Star
more
Wars.
money.
There would be younger generations. You would have kids in their 20s and everything making their own YouTube
Kids
channel.
in
Hey,
their
I'm a Star
teens.
Wars channel.
Yeah. Like it would be, everybody would have a Star Wars channel. Like if it was huge and everybody loved it and it was great, man, yeah, it would be huge. You know, because you look at like just take video game stuff for example, like Minecraft, Fortnite. Go look at some of those channels, like the Helldivers gaming channel. Like I mean, they're huge. I mean, there's like thousands and thousands of people in there just watching them just play these games. And
some of the biggest channels. Some of the biggest channels are
And if Star Wars was that big, you know, and it was like a cultural thing where people of all sex, gender, race, age, whatever, were all about it, we would be way bigger. We'd make way more money.
Yep. Exactly.
Reynaldo with a $2 super chat. Never seen a gay Jedi before, and he was flaming. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, he was big time.
JT,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
JT, $2, started more than an hour behind, just caught up.
Hell.
Glad you caught up, man. Appreciate that. Demogenai, $5, not watching.
What's up, brother?
Not watching The Acolyte, but I have my ear to the ground, just enough to roast this abomination.
Yeah.
It is an affront to George's vision and his paying customers.
100%. Hell to you, brother. Good to see you. Have you started Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yet? Game of the year for me, man. Game of the year.
Okay. Thank you, man, for sending that in. We appreciate it very much. Chris Nimitz with $11.99. Guys, watch Star Trek Prodigy Season 2. You will be shook. I've heard people talking about it. That just came out, I believe. So, yeah. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to look into it, but thank you, Chris. We'll check that out. Britton Hilburn, $5. If you guys had the opportunity to create a Star Wars show, what would you want to create?
No, I don't know. Creative.
If I had the opportunity to create a Star Wars show, I would want to create a retcon of the sequel trilogy. That's what I would do. That's the only show I would have any interest in telling, because everything else hurts Star Wars, in my opinion, knowing where it goes. So none of that go way past or way before. The only answer to make Star Wars better is to retcon the sequels. Without it, you're always going to have a dark cloud that's inescapable. So, but thank you for sending that in. Appreciate it very much. Crispy Mofo, 1776, $10. Yeah, but The Last Jedi came out that blew this up. That's what we're talking about. If The Last Jedi was good, would I have watched much of Doomcock or whoever? YouTube became super big because of the Star Wars hatred. I mean,
yeah, it did. There was a lot of, there was definitely a lot of that. But I just think it would be even bigger if
people were happy.
Loved.
If people were happy and loving it, there'd be way more people.
Yeah, I think it'd be way more.
Yeah, you talk about like my kid my son just started his anime channel, and you know he's trying to get into a very thick group of people that do anime reactions and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like these and nobody's hating on it. Everybody loves it. And he would probably be, you know, somebody that would have done something like a Star Wars channel or something like a comic book Marvel channel or whatever if it was good. But it's not. And so he's focusing on the stuff that he's growing up with and he loves. The kids are not rocking with this. And again, it's more, I'm sorry. I disagree. I think YouTube would still be what it is because there's plenty of people doing positive reactions to, the content that they love. And it's not because, everything is just about hate. You know, we're really just talking about something we do love. We actually love it. We actually love Star Wars. People say, oh, you guys hate Star Wars. No, we love Star Wars. We hate what's happened to Star Wars. And so we're, bringing people together that are kind of like in the same boat that we are. We don't like what they've done with the franchise.
Which is the majority of the fans.
Which is a vast majority of Star Wars fans. But at the end of the day, if Star Wars was good and we were gushing and talking, oh my God, like you see, I said, Mando episode 16, it's still your biggest. Is that still your biggest episode or your biggest show when at Mando episode 16 dropped? I believe you said it was your biggest one ever, right? When you had everybody coming in and talking about how great it was and it felt like Star Wars was saved. That's still the biggest thing that you guys have done on this channel. So to me, that's it. Yeah. And so to me, it's like, nah, that doesn't fit.
That's a bad rap that YouTube content creators and people get. People say you just want to hate it. We don't celebrate when something's terrible because we get an opportunity to hate it. We genuinely want to love what they make with Star Wars.
Right.
We can't because of what they're giving us.
Yeah. And if this was any other franchise, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Nope.
But we have a connection to this.
I stopped watching Ring of Power after the first episode. Hadn't watched it again and will never go back.
Yeah.
I don't have the same love for Lord of the Rings as I do this.
Yeah.
I don't. I love it. I mean, I hate using the word love. You know what? I love the movies. But the entire franchise as a whole, but Star Wars, nothing compares to Star Wars growing up through my life. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Crispy Mofo, for sending that $10 super chat in, brother. Daniel Bettinger, $4.99. I agree. Greg Owen review. Acolyte is written for 6 to 10-year-old girls, as any Disney tween show. Dialogue, story structure, matches like KC Undercover nonsense. We'll have to check that out, man. That sounds interesting. It's hard to imagine that this show was written for little kids.
Yeah,
man.
Demogenai, $2. Did normal run on FFR. It's good. The mini games.
Yeah, I have done everything normal mode and hard mode. I got one Chadley VR mission left to do, which is the hardest mission, Bonds of Friendship, Zach and Cloud. It's so hard. The mini games were awesome. But yeah, that's the only thing I got left to platinum trophy that game. Absolutely love it. Game of the year for me.
All right, and the last one to get us caught up, Ryan White, $5. As a lifelong Star Wars fan, how does it feel that Disney has destroyed this franchise and ripped out the souls of every fan out there? I'm pretty desensitized at this point.
Same. Yeah. It's sort of like the norm at this point with Disney Star Wars. I've already kind of accepted the fact that it's just not Star Wars. But my love for the original 3 movies will always be there. It's not going anywhere.
When we watched The Last Jedi, it bothered me for days.
Yeah. I went and watched it like 3 more times after that, trying to convince myself that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I was like, I'm missing something here. I'm going to go watch it again. I saw that movie a total of 4 times in the theaters when it came out. 4 times. Trying to convince myself that I was missing something, that it wasn't really that bad. And ultimately, I just had to be honest with myself and be like, this movie sucks balls. F this movie. I'm never watching it again. It sucks. I went and saw it 4 times. It's terrible. And I just had to accept it.
I was like that. I was all the way through probably early 2019 when I finally came to the realization. I'd watched that thing for 2 solid years almost. And I guess not 2 solid years because it came out in 2017. So I watched it for a year solid. And then finally in like February or March of 2019, I'm like, nah, it's just trash. it's just garbage. And I've tried to excuse it. I've tried to find like where's the silver lining in this. And I'm telling you, you can talk to my friends. I was working overtime trying to explain away this crap fest, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I was just like, because and again, I saw it. I was trying to. Okay, wait, I'm missing something. Nope, it's just garbage. It's just literal garbage. And then when I finally just stopped trying to make excuses for it, then it just came clear. It's like, yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. Yeah.
And I Am Silo, that's pretty pathetic, Nick. I agree. It's 100% pathetic.
Yeah, I agree too, man.
But the thing is, you have to understand at the time that me and Coach walked into that theater for that movie, the hype level was 1,000. I mean, it was huge.
We knew we were about to see greatness.
Yeah, we're like, this is about to be great. And
we've been waiting on since 1983.
Yeah, it was such a disappointment. Like man. I if you watch Darth Melvin and Grizzly, all those shield channels that they watch, I was one of those guys. Like, just like, man, I can't wait. Like, I was so happy and excited, and literally it was just like it took the wind out of my sail, and I was trying to understand or make myself think something different.
Yeah.
And ultimately,
I was on copium for a full year with this thing, man. I was high on the copium trying to explain it away. And then after a while, it's just like, nah.
Yeah. But before the movie came out, me and Coach, we're avoiding spoilers. We're like, we don't want to know anything.
At all cost.
Yeah. Yep. We're like, stay off the internet. Like, we're going to the very first showing. We don't want the movie spoiled.
When he threw that saber over his shoulder,
I was just like, huh?
What?
From that point on, I was speechless.
Yeah. And then when he showed up at the end, I was like, oh, okay, so we're actually going to get a good ending. And then it's a force projection, and then he just dies?
Dude, that
I'm
movie...
like, what is happening?
That movie was like watching a childhood friend die in front of your face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so bad.
I've said that
so
before.
Bad.
I've compared Star Wars to an old friend from school, like that you knew back in the day. That somebody you loved, and they just desecrated this entire franchise, man.
Yeah. So to answer the super chat, the best thing to come out of all of that for us, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, when we were sitting there waiting for the Rise of Skywalker, we've said it on here 50 times at least. We were like, all right, we ain't leaving mad.
So we didn't even care anymore.
If it sucks balls, we're just going to be laughing.
Yeah.
And me and Nick laughed throughout the movie.
Yeah. And at the end, there was a couple of people clapping. I was in that theater going, boo! Boo!
The theater was full. There was like 2 people clapping when the movie ended.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. It was, but I was no longer bothered. And watching bad Star Wars has never bothered me since. And it never will. If Disney makes something that's atrocious, like this Acolyte, it doesn't ruin my day. I'm just laughing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have fun roasting it, and that's all we can do is have our therapy sessions here on YouTube.
People like to make it up like, oh, we started as a Star Wars hate channel. No. We started as a Star Wars channel. 2 dudes that have been friends a long time that love Star Wars, that's lived it all of our lives.
Yeah.
We had no idea that Star Wars was going to get this bad.
No.
None. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe there are more people here because it's so bad. I don't know. See you, Rob.
Good to see you, Rob.
Crispy Mofo, $10. I won't watch Star Wars after Rogue One chronologically. Nothing else is canon to me.
I would agree with that. I had my issues with Rogue One, but all in all, I liked the movie. If I was gonna sit somebody down to watch Star Wars who knew nothing and never watched it, out of the 6 movies that George made, that's the only other one I would have them watch. And I would have them watch that and the first 2 seasons of Mando, and that's it.
That's about it. All right, gentlemen. That catches us up. We've been going almost 3 hours. Patreon, the the watch along for Acolyte episode whatever is up.
Yep.
So, and I'm exhausted.
Yep.
I'm totally exhausted. So this one took it out of me, guys. Thank you guys for being here. We got videos dropping.
Derek,
tomorrow?
are you? What are you about to do? Are you
I'm doing a nightcap. Yep. It's going up at 10 p.m. So in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna refresh, grab something to eat, and then I'll be on the nightcap tonight. So feel free to join in, hang out. I'll probably go. I don't know how long I'll go. Well, we'll talk more about this mess, this dog crap of an episode. We'll talk more about it. So feel free to come and hang out on my channel, Derek Anderson, the DA. Just got through putting together the thumbnail, so I'll be putting that up in about maybe 10 minutes, and then we're going live at 10 p.m. I guess 12 midnight your time.
45 minutes.
Yep, 45 minutes. So
I'll be in chat listening in. You guys go over there, sub to the DA.
Yeah.
I will not be, but I'll be thinking about you in my force visions. I'm going straight to bed.
Nice.
So, all right, boys. Thank y'all, chat, for being here. Thank you for members for being here, mods, everybody, DA, Nick, everybody. Appreciate it very much. As we always say here, you are Echo Base Network. More videos tomorrow, live stream Thursday, EBN Cast Friday, and videos sprinkled all around. So,
this Sunday, Agent Callus will be with us this Sunday night, answering people's questions in chat, and talking about the ex-Disney employee. So
Very
he will
cool.
be here this Sunday.
special live stream. I'm going to have to make sure
special
I take a nap that day or something.
Yeah. Well, it'll be after our House of Dragon, so we'll
Okay.
already
All
be
right.
on here,
All right, good.
and we'll jump into the stream right after that.
All right, gentlemen. Hey, thanks for being here, guys. See y'all in the next one.
Bye, guys.